Good morning and welcome to the AM News. I am Wilson Omasha. Residents along road construction areas across Edo Central Senatorial District, Edo State, have continued to express gratitude to the administration of Governor Monday Okpebholo for the construction of some key important roads to improve economic growth in their areas. Edo Central correspondent Chris Omije, who paid a visit to some roads under construction, reports that the residents and road users express appreciation to Governor Okpebholo for selecting critical roads for construction.
Some of the roads visited under construction are Ukmenu, Emuhi, Ujanwe Eho Road, Ekpoma Uhun Idoa Ewu Road, and Ekpoma Irua Uromi Ubiaja Dualization, where some residents expressed appreciation to Governor Monday Okpebholo for selecting such critical roads for construction, as it will enhance economic activities in the areas. They, however, appealed to the contractors to increase the pace of work before the rain fully sets in.
If they go do and finish, we go really rejoice well. Those who dey inside this road, like Ujame, Emuhi, Ugbioho, they go rejoice. The only thing we they talk now, as they do this gutter now, no lights. All the pole, the electric pole and the light for house, we know they see light use. Our food they spoil.
Okpebholo, now really God sent to us for this road. Gutter that has been created now has bring another good shape to this our community.
Like before, they very, very difficult, even for bike to take use this road. So as it be now, we don't they enjoy them, even when they never ever do and finish. So the only thing we consider they beg the governor, the work night they slow, not the fast. Small time from now, rain go start to the fall.
From Ekpoma to Ubiaja, very nice. Now before the road is bad, it's condemned. Now we are enjoying the road, even though they never put the line on time, we are enjoying it now.
One of the engineers on site, Engineer Osama El-Arabi, assured that they are working hard to complete the critical stage of the road before the rain sets in.
This side now is about 10 kilo. You understand me? Maybe before rain season, I complete 2 kilo, and another month you stop from 2 kilometers.
Road infrastructure is one of the 5-point agenda of Governor Monday Okpebholo's administration.
Residents are optimistic that the various roads under construction, if completed, will further boost commercial activities across states and land. From Edo Central, Chris Omije, ITV News.
Residents of Okpaga, Amofi, Orobi, Uhumode and Ikpaboha local government areas and other adjoining roads are witnessing improved infrastructure development and boosting socio-economic activities following the reconstruction of over 8-kilometer road abandoned for decades. The development came to the fore when the Chief Press Secretary to Edo State Government, Dr. Patrick Ebojele, led a team of journalists on a tour of some project sites, including the Ramat Park Overhead Bridge in Benin City. Government House correspondent Kingsley Uchebu reports.
Okpara Amofi Road is among several road projects being constructed by the state government to improve socio-economic activities and boost the livelihood of residents in the area. The 8.5-kilometer stretch of road is now motorable, in addition to adjoining Abonze Street, Dadije Road and Michael Ibojon Streets in Umode and the Boboka local government areas. The roads are complemented by open and underground drainage systems with 5 retention ponds to address years of erosion menace ravaging the area. Project engineer John Ibizugbe gives more insight. A landlord in the area, Wilfred Ekorabon, describes Governor Okpebholo's intervention as commendable.
We have done the first phase of the asphalt work, which is the binder, from very Chine 00 to the 8.22. By the time this road is fully done, we serve as a bypass from Agbo Road to Adowa.
It was impressive, so it's a good job. I'll live and pray for him, for God to give you wisdom to continue.
Orobi Road, off Sapler Road, which was abandoned for decades, is also receiving the attention of the state government.
Before, the road was in a deplorable state. By the grace of God, through the intervention of the government, you can see that life is coming back, and it is our hope that in no distant time the road will be completed.
At the near-completed Ramat Park flyover, workers were putting finishing touches on some aspects of the mega infrastructure, which is expected to be delivered in May. Also inspected were the ongoing Benin Sapele Road and the Old Sapele Road in Benin City. From Benin, Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
More dignitaries and people have continued to pay their condolences to the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, and his family over the death of their matriarch who passed away at the age of 95. Deborah Bainfo reports that the Minister of Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, and other top government officials are the latest sympathizers.
The Minister of Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, led a delegation of government officials to the residence of the Deputy Governor for a condolence. Engineer Momo expressed sympathy, describing the loss as not just personal to the family, but one felt by the wider community, acknowledging the late matriarch's legacy and impact on humanity.
I can imagine the depth of pain you will have this time around. But what I can assure you is that Mama lived a very useful life. I want you to take it that it is an act of God. We all care for him, and to him we go back.
Other people include a delegation from media organizations, entertainment industry, and other well-wishers who paid glowing tributes to a woman many say lived a fulfilled and impactful life.
You can see the smile on your face.
Responding, the Deputy Governor, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, thanked the minister and other visitors for their solidarity.
I want to sincerely appreciate all of you for coming in numbers to celebrate the demise of my beautiful, precious, amiable mother. The family of Idahosa, praise God Almighty, that have kept my mom for this long.
According to the Idahosa family, a Christian burial has been fixed for the late matriarch, commencing on the 8th to 10th of May 2026. In Benin, Deborah Ubefun, ITV News.
The postponement of the voters' validation exercise by the Independent National Electoral Commission to a date after the 2027 general election is generating mixed reactions across the country. While some Nigerians say the delay may affect confidence in the electoral process, others were of the opinion that INEC may be taking more time to strengthen logistics and technology for a smoother exercise. Donald Amir reports.
The voters' revalidation exercise is considered an important step in ensuring a credible and accurate voter register ahead of elections. The exercise is designed to verify, update, and confirm the details of registered voters, remove duplicate or invalid entries, and allow citizens correct information such as names, addresses, and polling units. The exercise also helps electoral bodies identify outdated records, deceased persons, and multiple registrations, while also giving voters the opportunity to update personal details. However, the decision by INEC to postpone the exercise until after the 2027 general election has elicited reactions from different parts of the country. In Benin City, some residents say the exercise should have taken place before the 2027 general elections to enhance electoral credibility. Others believe the commission may need more time for preparation ahead of subsequent elections.
If they want a free and fair election, voter registration exercise should be continuous right in every state as far as Nigeria is concerned. There are some who have also died, but they cannot go and vote again. So it's supposed to be a continuous exercise that once you turn to 18, you go straight to that place and do it.
The initial calendar of INEC to carry out a lengthy stretch of voters registration and so on and so forth has now been postponed. Well, we do not know the reason behind the postponement, but we strongly believe that no Nigerian should be disenfranchised in whatever form.
If you validate and the 80 people now you are in the unit and 70 people get a vote,
you cannot commit any fraud. So to an extent, it could have been a very good idea, but in the timing, there are great room for suspicion. That's what we are seeing now.
A human rights activist in Warri Delta State, Comrade Ranti Taiwo, described the postponement of the voters' revalidation exercise by INEC as a heady development.
It's a welcome idea because those that are not registered can still use the same opportunity next year to register. Those that have parked from where they stayed before to another location, they can re-register again to their unit that is closer to their house.
Reacting to the proposed extension of voter revalidation exercise by INEC, a Lagos resident Segun Osanyintola said there is need for INEC to take stock of its activities before taking such decision.
If percentage of number of people, that's the data that you have, lesser people are having less to their access to their voters card, then something is wrong. So yeah, if they are saying they are doing the validation after election, then that justifies the fact that, okay, maybe the validation they want to do is actually obtainable or is realistic.
For many Nigerians, the expectation is that whenever the exercise eventually begins, it will be transparent, accessible, and efficient for all eligible voters. Donald Ehiminyeng, ITV News.
We will go on the break. We'll be right back. Do stay. Asa Southeast local government has presented a budget of 9,750,350,000 naira to the legislative arm for consideration and passage. The acting chairman of the local government, Honorable Moses Edo, formally presenting the 2026 appropriation bill to the legislative arm, said it is tagged budget of renewed hope and development. The report is presented by Jolade Ojo.
The acting chairman of the local government, Honorable Moses Edo, announced that recurrent expenditure has a total of 6,399,550,000 naira, while representing 65.70% of the overall budget, adding that the provision is intended to cover personnel costs, overhead expenses, and the general administration of the local government. The council boss says the sum of 3,346,800,000 naira as capital expenditure, representing 34.30% of the budget. He added that the allocation is dedicated to infrastructural development and the execution of projects aimed at improving the living standards of the people.
The year 2026 budget is stacked. Budget of renewed hope and development. As it is improved on the achievement we have recorded so far.
The acting chairman of the local government, Honorable Moses Edo, explained that the 2026 budget prioritizes critical sectors of the local economy with strategic emphasis on rural development, agriculture, commerce, and job creation initiatives. He said the social sector covers education, healthcare services, social welfare, and community development.
In our presentation of this year 2026 budget, we were guided by our set objectives, which are made at the transformation and development.
The leader of the legislative arm of Asa Southeast local government area, Honorable Nelson Odebu, receiving the 2026 budget estimates, commended the chairman for the presentation and pledged speedy consideration and passage. It was a consensus amongst all stakeholders that the 2026 budget reflects the administration's commitment to sustainable development, improved service delivery, and the overall socio-economic advancement of the area. In Asa Southeast local government area, Jola Deojo, ITV News.
Ibilu community in Akoko Edo local government area of Edo State have witnessed jubilation as residents thronged the streets as Mr. Humphrey Teddy Adewumi officially declared his intention to contest Akoko Edo constituency 1 seat in the Edo State House of Assembly. Edo North correspondent Anthony Igbano reports.
Songs of praise rent the air as youth, elders, and supporters accompany the House of Assembly aspirant Humphrey Adewumi from the entrance of Ibilu to his residence, demonstrating support for his political ambition. Fighting questions from newsmen, Mr. Adewumi said his decision to contest was driven by the need to address lingering developmental challenges facing Akoko Edo local government area and the constituency. He emphasized that his aspiration is centered on service rendered than personal gain.
We are here for the purpose of agitation. We need something. It is for one purpose, for the progress of my community, and for the progress of my constituency, and for the progress of Akoko Edo.
In his remark, Honorable Jeffrey Obasomi, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, urges Edo State government to recognize Adewumi's candidacy as a strategic move towards achieving broader developmental and the 2.5 million vote goals.
I want to assure you that going forward, we have no cause for alarm, but we will not sleep until when finally it is achieved.
Also speaking, Honorable Balogun described Mr. Adewumi as a prominent and a widely recognized figure in Akoko Edo Constituency 1, stressing that public perception and reputation are key indicators of leadership potentials.
Humphrey Adewumi Teddy is the rave of the moment. He is the person we need right now in Akoko Edo Constituency 1.
He has deployed his personal resources to build schools, help children register for WAEC and NECO. He is coming with only one agenda: to serve his people.
The event was rounded off with celebration, enforcing the unity and strong communal support that the Akoko Edo and the Okpamere community are known for. Anthony Igbano, ITV News.
A former functioning director, project implementation and monitoring in Edo State Oil and Gas Producing Area Commission at SOPADEC, Engineer Victor Obano, has declared his intention to contest the Ego constituency seats at the Edo State House of Assembly. Engineer Obano, who is a patron of various professional bodies and paramilitary organizations within and outside Edo State, was accorded a warm reception by leaders of the APC across the 10 wards in the Ego local government area. Kingsley Uchebu reports.
Long train of supporters from the 10 wards in Ego local government area accompanied Engineer Victor Obano and his wife, Adesua, to declare his intention to represent Ego constituency at the Edo State House of Assembly, declaring his aspiration before party executives and leaders from the 10 wards in Ego local government area at the party secretariat. Engineer Obano said he is moved to offer his wealth of experience, knowledge and exposure. He said as a firm believer that party is supreme, he will abide by any decision and directive of the leader of the party, Senator Monday Okpebholo. Addressing journalists in company with his wife, Adesua, after the meeting, Engineer Obano said his aspiration to represent Ego constituency is born out of a vision to complement the unparalleled development of Governor Monday Okpebholo.
No matter the level of acceptance, we must not forget that the governor of the state, Senator Monday Okpebholo, is the leader of this party. An aspiration today to ascend higher is to help him in governance, to assist him, to be loyal to him. I have contested House of Rep before. Under this party, I was asked to step down, and I stepped down. I must learn to understand that party is supreme. If the governor asked me today to step down for my co-aspirant, I will step down. So I am loyal to His Excellency, Senator Monday Okpebholo.
I'll make sure the project is going to execute and everything, he will do them accordingly.
Chairman Ward 2, Ego local government area, Honorable Saro Osagedua and Apostle Emmanuel Geho described Engineer Victor Obano as a man of intimidating track records.
Engineer Obano have paid his dues in Ego local government. I pray for him to come out victorious.
Engineer Obano is a dynamic leader.
Supporters of Engineer Obano earlier engaged in a roadshow from 5 Junction to the Ego APC Secretariat at Uselu to drum up support for his legislative aspiration. From Benin, Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
The member representing Owedo East constituency at the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Uyi Frank Omosigo, has commenced ward consultation tour with visit to Ward 2, 5 and 3 in Owedo local government area as he seeks support for another re-election bid to return to the House. The consultation, which began in Ward 2, had in attendance Chief Oyekori Otioni Osula Jr., the Osula of Benin, Chief Ayadi Bamidele, Comrade Adams Eyigamusoy, President, Drivers on Wheels, alongside other APC party leaders and supporters. Ofure Aneto reports.
The ward consultation tour saw Honorable Frank Uyi Omosigo meet with party executives, leaders and supporters across wards 2, 5 and 3. At the various wards, the lawmaker highlighted some of his achievements in the last 2 years, including the first motion moved in the 8th Assembly on the anti-courtism law, which he said was aimed at strengthening security in Edo State. He also outlined several constituencies which he described as verifiable and ongoing, while appealing to party members and residents of Owedo East to return him to the Edo State House of Assembly to enable him continue ongoing projects and deliver more dividends of democracy.
I'm here to appeal to the people of Ward 2 and Owedo East to please give me a second chance and a second ticket to represent you for the upcoming election, to represent for Owedo East, because we have been tested. I have experience we can deliver.
Party chairmen and executives in Ward 2, 5 and 3 commended the lawmaker for what they described as his visible achievements in office and assured him of their support.
For these 2 years you have tried a lot.
Any person now talking and do nothing where you want to ask about him again.
Other members also praised his performance and expressed their support for his re-election bid.
As for the aspirant, he been there and he deserves another chance.
Omosigo deserves a second chance. He gave scholarship to people.
Pray God that the ancestors of our land to grant him this second chance.
Join hands, working with the executive governor, distinguished Tomodo Bebolo, to actualize his 8-point agenda.
The ward consultation tour is still ongoing, with Honorable Omosigo expected to continue his campaign visit to other wards in Owedo constituency. From Benin, Ofure Aneta, ITV News.
A former councillor in Owedo local government, Honorable Mafido Dan Izeyamu, has formally declared his intention to contest Owedo West constituency seat at Edo State House of Assembly under the platform of the All Progressives Congress. The declaration, held at the APC Ward 10 Secretariat in Benin City, attracted a large turnout of party faithful, community leaders, youths and supporters from across the constituency. Osebudeme Osaigie has details.
There was jubilation and excitement as Honorable Imafidon Dan Izeyamu, accompanied by supporters, embarked on a parade through major streets in Owedo West constituency, creating awareness and rallying grassroots support about his ambition. At APC Ward 10 Secretariat, Honorable Imafidon highlighted his vision for Owedo West constituency, pledging to deliver purposeful and people-oriented representation. He assured constituents of his commitment to address critical issues.
I come officially tell the world, say I don't make una send me message, go House of Assembly, make I go represent you. I go stand for transparency. Anything where they go on that, una go they know. Una go benefit for so many things, like empowerment.
Party leaders lauded his decision to join the race, describing him as a credible and capable aspirant. Supporters also expressed confidence in Honorable Imafidon Dan Izeyamu, highlighting his connection with the grassroots and readiness to serve.
He was a one-time councillor representing this very ward thing. And he went there and he delivered the dividend of democracy. So we believe also too that if given this opportunity for a higher position, he will do even more.
I support those who can actually deliver the dividend of democracy to the people. And he has shown that he can be trusted. That's why I'm bringing myself out to support him. You can see the mammoth crowd here, how the people receive him because he's tested and trusted, and he has delivered for his people when he was a councillor of this ward.
Ward executives, leaders, elders, women and youth were among those present for the declaration. Prior to his declaration, Honorable Imafidon Dan Ize-Iyamu visited ward leaders seeking support and prayers, and also ward executives to relay his ambition to them. From Benin, Osemdiamel Sage, RTV News.
A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, a former vice chairman of Ovia Northeast Local Government, Edo State, Honorable Dumes Ugiagbe, has finally declared his intention to contest the 2027 general election for Ovia Northeast Constituency 1 seat in Edo State House of Assembly. The declaration was made before party leaders and members, with stakeholders expressing support and calling for unity ahead of the party primaries. Donald Amie reports.
Supporters, party faithful and community leaders gathered as Honorable Dumes Ugiagbe officially declared his ambition to represent Ovia Northeast Constituency 1 in the Edo State House of Assembly under the platform of the All Progressives Congress. The aspirant said his decision is driven by the need to attract development, empower youths and women, and give quality representation to the people of the constituency.
To represent my people, quality representation, and to bring development to Constituency 1, especially. And secondly, to join the governor on the Shine agenda, because our governor is performing. You can see practical governance. Me coming to Edo State House of Assembly to also give in the legislative backing to ensure our governor move forward.
Party leader described the declaration as timely, urging members to remain united and committed to strengthening the party ahead of the party primaries for the 2027 elections.
Dumes has done us well before. He has done us proud in Ovia Northeast Local Government. We have always been wishing that he would come up so that people will show the love we have for him.
I know that if we really support him, we nominate him, he will not let us down. He's a person you will send on a message and you will not be afraid that he will let you down.
He has demonstrated his loyalty to this party for a very long time now.
All we are saying that this time he should be given an opportunity, and those of us who have contended with him in the past are now here to work with him.
They called for peaceful consultations and grassroots mobilization as preparations begin for the contest. From Benin, Donald Ehiminye, ITV News.
Residents and motorists plying Owasota Road and environs, including Iyamu, Otote, Otamere, Izeko, Edobo, Ojo streets and environs in Benin City, have appealed to Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo to extend the Shine agenda of his administration to their area. They made the appeal during a peaceful protest to highlight the hardship they undergo due to bad conditions of Owasota Road and adjoining streets. Ikpomusa Ugiagbe reports.
Owasota Road in Benin City, Edo State is a major thoroughfare leading to Uwelu Spare Parts Market and serves as a bypass between Ubawa Lagos Road and Upper Siloko Road. However, the road has become almost impassable as it is riddled with potholes and covered with flood, despite the retention pond earlier created to deflood the road. The deplorable condition of Owasota Road prompted residents in the area to stage a peaceful protest, leading to traffic gridlock, with motorists and tricycle seeking alternative routes while their passengers continue their journey on foot. They appealed to the Edo State government to extend the road reconstruction work to the area.
We'll be suffering on this Owasota Road. We'll be making protests, we'll be writing letters. We are appealing for the governor to yield to our calling. So please come assist us here.
We always hear the slogan, Edo is shining, but Owasota Road is not shining.
the contractor finished Uwelu Road, and it was a master plan.
Yes.
That after they finish Uwelu Road, they will continue Uwasota Road. Amiable Governor, you are working in the 18 local governments. Please hear our cry in Lagos.
Ukpona otote 10 years near Ibadan Ukpona. Eki mala okpewo no la no happy man. No do tiny man.
Some motorists also joined in the appeal for the rehabilitation of Uwasota Road as it causes them to visit the mechanic regularly.
Uwasota Road is very, very bad. If you rain for now, we cannot able to pass here. I want make government come and help us and do the road so that we'll be able to work money to feed our families.
Every day, yesterday, I spent not less than 68,000 for inside this motor. If we better and I don't rack based on the bad road. It's good when I can do the roads for us.
What's a major road where they leak other street where they will here. But this place has been bad for a very long time. So she should try and fix it.
Edo State government had at different fora assured of extending its road construction work to the nooks and crannies of the states. From Benin, Ikmamosa Ugiagbe, ITV News.
And that's it on the news this morning. Thanks a lot for watching. Good morning.
ITV. ITV, certainly the best.
Welcome to Viewpoints on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and today on Viewpoints we're going to be talking about the current electricity issues and situations that we as business owners, as individuals, are facing in Nigeria, as over 80% of households lack adequate access to grid, as Nigeria's electricity sector suffers from chronic liquidity trap and infrastructural decay, leading to frequent national grid collapses, with generation dropping below 4,200 megawatts, far short of the 4,000 megawatts required for its citizens and population. It is a Viewpoint on ITV, and we're going to be looking at some of the key issues affecting our electricity sector in Nigeria. I am Caroline Okonji.
In terms of security of it, we need light. And based on that, in some areas, it makes it difficult for us when we are on patrol at night. And we are even begging the state government to try and do something, at least by supplying street lights in some area that are dark in the night. In most cases in our community, there are places that is very dangerous, that without light we cannot do anything of such. For so doing, we want, as a matter of urgency, the Edo State government to try and do the needful so that the security will be okay for us, so that we can be able to work effectively.
The issue of NEPA issue that you came from is very rapid to us, in the sense that the NEPA look as if we are not a citizen of Nigeria. because since a month, there's no light in us. We have been passing through. Which NEPA, anytime they came, a minute or 30 minutes to, they will come and bring the light to us. That is, we are not expecting them to come and collect their bill. Indirectly, we are expecting bill from them to come and collect it. Within that hour or 2 hours, you will see a number of people with a ladder. They will come. And after their collection, there's nothing like light again. They will block us up. I think before we have this light, they mandated us to buy a meter, which we bought individual. We pay through the NDC, we have our transformer here, not through NEPA. Before we got out this light, they mandated us to write an application of submitting it to the NEPA as a will to them. And we work for it. And we should not claim ownership. And we fought for the transformer. And after that, again, they came that there is no oil in it. We pay up to 1 point something again. Before. After all that, they came up again, said it was meter issue again, that every community, every houses have to have a meter, which we did. We have to. I have my own receipts. I have my paper meter in my residential house here. So after all that again, they came up with a past bill. We, before we make that transformer, got that transformer, we've been black out for 10 years here. They came with a bill to us again that we need to pay a standing bill. We went to Testament, their office there. After we left the one at the bypass, they were delivering us before they now refer us to the one at bypass. I don't want to mention name of the manager there. Got him there again. He said we have to go for all those things. We need to fulfill all those things which we did. After that, they now on the light for us. As they on the light, not up to the month, we are still in blackout again. So at the end of it, we went again. They said it was according to them, that the electric wiring merge. That was because that they now cut us off again from EOY again, which we not pay. We that much again. The Chiri community, which is the Kabetu, Igbo and Igwekimi. After that, they brought a light for a week again. After a week, they cut us off again. They said EOY is owing. We now went to the office again and told them that if EOY is owing, does that mean it affects our community? We are blackout throughout all this. So before we sort all those things out, we have already made up our mind. We can do away with our NEPA. When our father was living with a lamp and all these things, we were enjoying it. We cannot be paying for what we are not using. We cannot be paying for what we are not using. So if they feel they want to cut us off from this NEPA issue, they should cut everybody off totally, so that we will know that we are not with NEPA. Not that after 3 weeks, they will not bring a light under 2 hours or 3 hours. They will come and collect their money. It's unfair to the masses.
The electricity issues and challenges that BDC in the state is devastating, in the sense that as a minister, I suffer a lot in terms of electricity. As an individual, not only me, the entire people of Edo State, and not only in Edo State, Nigeria as a whole, we are really facing electricity challenge in the country, in the sense that we are not getting constant light. Even though the tariff of electricity is high, people don't even get the light. I don't know how the government will enhance constant light for the Nigerian people, especially in Edo State here. We are seeing the government are not taking a proactive step towards this direction. But if the government will be able to ensure that people are paying for electricity and they are not getting electricity, government should take a drastic step in this direction by making sure if people have constant light, people will want to pay for it. But a situation where you don't see light, at the end of the month you see BEDC personnel coming to people's house to come to cut lights, is really a problem. My major concern is that let them provide us electricity and people will pay for it. But a situation whereby we don't have constant light, out of 24 hours, people cannot boast of 3 hours light in a day. It's a problem that we are really facing. People who are doing business cannot do business effectively. People who are doing business, they want to make sure their foodstuff does not get spoiled. Nobody can preserve their food again. Even though they cook, you cannot preserve it. Even though electricity for our artisans to work, they cannot get electricity to empower their equipment in order to boost productivity for the entire society. It is really a problem. The state of electricity in our country, in our state, is very poor. Very, very poor. We don't know how government is creating effectiveness on this aspect. We say Nigeria is generating electricity and the neighboring are getting electricity, and the people that are in this country are not benefiting it. Nigerians, we are crying. As a person, I am crying. We don't say as an individual we don't want to pay for electricity. We are not saying that they should give us light for free, but let them make light available and let people pay for it.
They often tell us the national grid is collapsed. So ultimately it's to develop enough capacity, the whole process of generation, distribution and the rest of it. And then the enabling law, the happy thing recently is that they have said is deregulated. You know, state governments and private investors can now enter the electricity market, generate and sell. So we do hope that will be a great deal of improvement, because without electricity, really, we are going to remain in the Stone Age. You know, we cannot industrialize. Even domestically, we cannot have the comfort we should derive from electricity. You know, we should consider all the options, whether the new sources like wind, solar in our country, so that we're able to generate enough for our consumption. The darkness is a cover for any kind of nefarious activity. Yeah, so if the place is not well lit or substantially lit up, people can ordinarily hide under the cover of darkness to perpetrate just anything, not just robbery, kidnapping and whatever you have. Yeah. Don't also forget that we now have private investors. The government doesn't have so much to do with electricity anymore, apart from regulation. So they also have to maximize their profit. So it may have been a mistake in the first instance, divesting from electricity at the level of government.
Let me talk about the state where I live, where I reside. The total blackout is nothing to write up about. We really suffer when it comes to light. Edo is suffering. I think our governor is trying to, we have to do more. Our Excellency, Senator Monday, our governor of Edo State, Executive Governor, you have to do more when it comes to that light issue. We are suffering. There are some of us who can provide electricity for ourselves, solar and all that. Maybe a generator, this was the case, maybe, but not everybody. And so at this junction, I think it is expedient that our governor looks straight into this issue and solve this problem. what would I call it? I don't know the right English to use. The right English right now, we have serious problem when it comes to light. Businesses are going down. Those selling drinks, those who have koro, without generator, you can't do anything. And the J is on the high side. Those small J, those are better past our neighbor used to buy then 30,000, 10,000. Now you can't buy it. Then the other one is the Tiger and the LMX, 1 point something for ordinary generator. So it doesn't make any sense at all. So we're begging on our executive governor, the governor that knows what to do, to please to look into us and save us from darkness. Then when it comes to these funny BDC people, we're raising a child that came from the US and the others. The first thing they learned in Nigeria is NEPA don't bring light. Children brought from abroad, the NEPA don't bring light. Can you imagine such? And so these funny people, 2 days, they'll bring the light on and off for 2 days. The next thing they'll come with their estimated billing. They start dragging people, wires and all that. It's high time. I think it's high time we stand our ground and let them know that we're not fools. We are Nigerians. We all own this nation. It belongs to nobody. It belongs to nobody and it's for everybody. We should stand our ground and fight for our rights. This year, but may they pack, may they go. NEPA still better pass. You can't go out at night when there is no light. The security issue is what the government is trying. I cannot chrome them in one day, but we individual too. Like the police used to say something, say something. But sometimes when you say something, they use it as a bait, and so we need to. Edo State government need to give us security as well. Nightlife in Benin is almost gone. But I also want to say kudos to our governor. For the first time, it was December free of bloodshed. It was wonderful. Look, we have most of our people in Nigeria right now, those living in diaspora, those living abroad. Many of them came December and this January. And they came and they're enjoying it. So I believe our excellent governor, our excellency can do more about that to give us more security. Like those if you're traveling from Benin to Akure, Benin to Ifon, those roads are no-go area at night. You can't date. So I believe with all hands on deck and our governor and the police, our CP, let's hope and pray for our action governor to do something about insecurity.
ADDC, since they came in, I don't think they have done well by my own assessment. And darkness is synonymous with demonic things. And they have thrown their city into darkness, Benin City. Edo State, as it were, is in darkness. And I think that the government should step into the matter to do something about the situation. Because the way I look at it is that, for me, I think it is deliberate. Because there are some areas that have light. They call it dedicated light. So why can't everybody have the same light? Because there are areas for 2 weeks no light, for 1 month no light. Some people have 3 hours a day. Some people have 1 hour. And if they bring light in these 20 years, people shout, hey! They'll be saying up NEPA instead of up BEC, which is BEDC. So the thing is that government should step in and help us. People are dying, and most people are paying for darkness. They go there, they threaten people, they bring light when it is wanted for 3 days, 2 hours, 3 days, they come and collect money and they shut it down again. So I think the government should step in. If they are going to be thrown out, they should be thrown and bring people who can give us light, who are ready to pay. It was privatized. That was a good intention by government, but the people that did it, I'm sure they gave it to their cronies who does not know anything about the management of light, and that's why we are where we are. It has really hampered nightlife because you don't work in darkness. And then the only thing that is helping us now is this solar that people put everywhere, and some persons that have money to buy diesel and buy fuel. It's not everybody that has that kind of money. So it has really disturbed or hampered nightlife. But government is trying to bring it back by putting street light and everything. So we commend them. We pray that God will give government more power, more strength, more wisdom to do what they have to do. And there's individuals are also trying by helping to lighten up everywhere. So we praise them. But for BEDC, I think they should go. Make better people.
situation of electricity in Benin here now, I will give them at least 30%. They don't give up to 50% from the area. But I wish the government they can improve, because if you see what they happen to us now, we all they use our hand to define electricity. Some of us they go generator for us, some of us we get solar, some of us we go generate big blister. All these people get like hotel. So I wish the government they really improve for electricity. All those generators will become condemned for our hand. You understand? So people not going to go for it. That money now they need to put, because that energy, that light will really need that. If light day for this, imagine if you come for here for Silok Road now, government already put light, but in the evening, everywhere will be dark. So where there's light, everything, even the security aspect of itself, anything concerning light is too plenty. Maybe one particular. So we need light. If I come out for office now, if light no dey, we will buy generator. At least from office I dey buy at least, if I'm not mistaken, 5,000 every day for sure. Imagine times 1 month, na big money. And na money. From then I will go see look at it, the company say we go for solar. We could use solar to stabilize them, because solar they give us more, make savings from the fuel aspect of it. So if you get light, nothing like light, your light can carry AC, can carry everything for us. And to the noise, no go even give you that noise issue. So we prefer light more than any other thing.
The light is our problem. We are suffering for light. You can see our business without light, we cannot improve. We need light. The show of light is difficult for us. It's very, very, very low. I don't know if you're getting it, very low. We need light. The show of light in Edo State is very poor. Patronage is very low. You can see we bought fuel at least every day 10,000, 15,000 a day. But you can stay 2 days, 3 days, no light. The show of business is very, very, very low. Very low. So we are begging government to improve on the light aspect. That light, you cannot sell bulb, you cannot sell fan. You understand? When you have light, you prepare to buy fan. Not everybody can provide solar for his house. Actually, we need light.
Electricity in Benin City or in Edo State has been with mixed feelings, because to some they will give the positive nod that they are faring well with the supply of electricity, but with some become so epileptic of recent. Me personally, I have discovered that we are not paying for what we get, or we don't get what we pay for. The reason being that the regulatory body that's supposed to task the BEDC are not doing enough to satisfy a customer by way of ensuring that you get what you pay for. For those who are using prepaid meter, there are reports that suggest that even the prepaid meter is even overbilling or overcharging consumers as against what the government is telling us. Only recently we discovered that the BDC keep complaining that the the generation company is not supplying them what they ought to get, which will in turn affect the consumer. And even at a point they also raise the issue of federal government owing them. But just recently the federal government has paid a huge sum of money to liquidate what they are owing this distribution company. But looking at the experience of consumer in terms of the electricity supply, it is so appalling. They will either give you excuse of faulty transformer, which they left for the consumer to contribute money to fix, whereas it is supposed to be the onus of BDC to fix the transformer so that they can in turn supply electricity to the consumer who pay for that service. It's like you are buying a recharge card. I am not sure that the recharge card you buy is what they give you. It varies from quarter to quarter. It varies from consumer to consumer. For example, for those who have been using the analog or the estimated billing, you will discover that whatever they bring, which is not subject to negotiation, by the time you now procure your own prepaid meter, they will bring everything inside the bill and begin to roll out deductions arbitrarily without consulting with the consumer. Even the estimated billing they brought was not even discussed by the consumer. So, and there is nobody that is there to advocate for the consumer or to leverage on the complaints. Nobody to complain to. So that makes it very, very heartbreaking. So for me, I believe the federal government and indeed the lawmaker, the National Assembly, should set up a body where consumer can run to and lay their complaints, so that there can be an equilibrium between the consumer and the BDC, for example.
To wrap it up on Viewpoint on ITV, we're going to be highlighting some of the key issues that was actually mentioned by our respondents, which some said it is as a result of poor maintenance, gas supply shortage, and poor metering, just to list but a few. And the government at all levels, they are expected to do the needful and do the right thing to ensure steady power supply for citizens in order to boost means of livelihood, especially for business owners in the country. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okunji.
ITV, certainly the best.
In the evening of the initiation day, all the newly initiated Edion danced to the residents of the Odion Way and also visited some homes of the various senior elders, where Chief Elder Ogbede Onwonse was very conspicuous, especially at the country home of Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawo Igbenedion with his family on the night of the initiation. On the following morning, as part of the rite to be performed by the newly initiated Edion in Okada town, the initiates, led by Chief Elder Ogbede Onwonse, visited the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawo Igbenedion, at his Okada country home residence to pay homage and appreciate him for all he has done in the development of the community, which has placed Okada in world map. They also thanked him for his role in the success of their ceremony. They commended the Esama of Benin as a custodian of Benin cultural heritage and for revitalizing the age-long tradition of the age-grade ceremony.
ẹ̀yàgbẹ́wò ẹ̀yà màwùgbé ẹ̀yà ìjọlúwé náà ọba tó ọba pẹ̀wọ̀
ITV, certainly the best.
This is the public display of Agaba masquerade dance in one community in Igbo land, Nigeria. This Agaba masquerade originated in Igbo-speaking communities of southeastern Nigeria and is associated with Nkanu people in the surrounding areas. This masquerade dance represents the power, aggressiveness, and the vibrancy of youth, functioning as a warrior-themed performance, showcasing masculinity and power.
Thank you.
This masquerade is widely celebrated across Igbo land and among the Igala community. The masquerade dance is used to mark festivals, burials, and significant events, often embodying the spirit of the youth. The masquerade is known for its energetic dance, often appearing with carved wooden masks, adorned with beautiful costumes, and accompanied by intense music, as well as skilled, brave, and powerful performance. The masquerade symbolizes the strength, aggressiveness, and fearlessness of the young men in the community. The masquerades have been adapted by various groups, including the Igala people, where it is sometimes called Agabaidu, often interpreted as the Great One.
ITV, certainly the best.
Benin Cultural Dance, a unique dance and quality dance steps of the Benin people. This dance is a vibrant mix of traditions, arts and beliefs, deeply rooted in the country's diverse ethnic groups and their rich history. The dance has artistic expressions depicting the people's history. Benin people have been famous for bronze and brass work, some of which is said to date back from the 13th century, especially ivory and wood carving. In Benin, the people dance to show respect, honor, dignity, which they honor. They dance to show royalty, as natives are seen in their numbers around their body depicting the symbol of kingship. Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Emobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
ITV, certainly the best.
Good morning and welcome to Tech Today, your go-to program for everything technology and everything innovation and the future shaping our world. Yes, Tech Today is that program where we talk about technology and everything happening in the world of technology, break it down for you in simple terms that you can understand and you can relate in our everyday life. I am Lawal Momo, your host, and I'm going to be giving you a whole history lesson today. I'm going to talk a lot about what is happening in the world of tech today, something that is actually all around on social media, and it's not far-fetched because history has been made this week. Yes, history was made again this week. On April 1st, 2026, astronauts aboard Artemis II, a mission by NASA, launched into space, making it the first time in over 50 years that humans are traveling around towards the moon. Okay. This is the first time humans are making such a journey since the last time that happened in Apollo 17 mission in 1972. Yes, imagine 1972. Many of us were not even born. we know we witness a generation, the old generation must have passed from by that time, and many persons did not, witness this first moon landing that happened in 1972. And now in 2026, we have Artemis II being launched, and we have astronauts that are, sent towards the moon. And then, like I said, it's been over 5 decades since this happened. But today, that silence has been broken. Humans are no longer talking about returning to the moon. We are already on the journey. So today on Tech Today, we'll be diving right into this historic mission, what it means for us, and what is happening right now in space, and why this will even matter to all of us here on Earth. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, I'll give you a short video of how the launch happened in Florida, United States, how people witnessed it happen. It's a historic event, how you see the spacecraft launched into space and all of that. I'm going to give you that video right now. When we come back, we'll talk about what is Artemis II.
We show the same. Feels great up here.
At MET, mission elapsed time of 1 day, 1 hour, and 14 minutes into the Artemis II mission. As Orion was flying 115 statute miles above Earth and 247,600 miles away from the moon, we have the start of the translunar injection burn that will send the crew around the moon, the first humans to do so in over 50 years. Velocity of the spacecraft ticking up, now over 23,900 miles per hour.
Integrity, we copy the enabled caution, no crew action.
Integrity copies.
Over 3 minutes now into the translunar injection burn. These live views coming from Orion as it looks back on Earth, leaving high Earth orbit and beginning its journey to the moon. We are now 230 miles above Earth, 246,500 miles away from the moon. We have 1 minute left in the translunar injection burn. Everything continuing to look good. We have less than 20 seconds left of this burn. This is the final major burn for the mission, because this also serves as our deorbit burn. Hugs there at the Capcom console from NASA astronaut and Capcom, or capsule communicator, Chris Birch, with Artemis II backup and Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jenny Gibbons. This is a live view from the Orion capsule looking back on Earth, our home planet. We are now 18,500 miles away from Earth. When we conducted that translunar injection burn coming up on about 2 hours ago, we were just 115 miles above our planet. Obviously, that has increased exponentially as we are now on the journey to the moon and back home. Currently, Orion is 223,000 miles away from the moon.
Because have you allowed the weight of the moment to really fit in here? Have you allowed that to happen?
Well, first and foremost, we all wanted to give a shout out to our families first, because we are pretty far from Earth and we have not gotten to say hi to them yet. But there was a moment about an hour ago where Mission Control Houston reoriented our spacecraft as the sun was setting behind the Earth. And I don't know what we all expected to see in that moment, but you could see the entire globe from pole to pole. You could see Africa, Europe, and if you looked really close, you could see the northern lights. It was the most spectacular moment, and it paused all four of us in our tracks.
Yeah, well, you are making history. Reed Wiseman, Christina Koch, Jeremy Hansen, Victor Glover. Congratulations to all of you. America, the world is with you. We are watching every moment of this journey, and we will cheer you when you get back and along the way. Thank you for joining us. Best of luck to you, and safe travels.
Welcome back. So let's break down in simple terms what just happened, okay? So astronauts were launched into a powerful space launch system, one of the most powerful rockets ever built. They are traveling inside the Orion spacecraft. That's what they call it, Orion spacecraft. So the Orion spacecraft is a spacecraft designed specifically for deep space mission. And of course, it's also designed to make humans live well inside the spacecraft, because sometimes we have this spacecraft go launch through space, and then people die because of a lot of things can go wrong in there. But their mission now, it's simple concept but complex in execution. What is the mission? It's to travel from Earth, orbit around the moon, and return back to Earth safely. Okay, so now what they've done, that they've gone to space. So they've orbited around the Earth once. I think they did it one time, and they even talked about, you see one of them, one of the astronauts talking about how beautiful Australia is and how beautiful the Earth is from that distance. Okay, I'm going to show you those videos to you, and now they are going to go orbit around the moon and use the moon gravity to slingshot themselves back to land in the same space station where they took off from. Okay, but make no mistake, this is not just a trip; it's a full system test to with humans live on board. So they're going to test. It's like when maybe you want to when imagine you're going for a long journey. Sometimes you're going for a long journey. Say you're traveling from Abia State to Sokoto. You want to take your vehicle on a long drive first, maybe to neighboring states, back and forth, to just see if your vehicle can withstand withstand that kind of distance, without having any issues. So that's what they're trying to do eventually, because they are putting years and years, what they've built over the years, into action, into work. Because I think they tried to move around sometime in 2011, that didn't work. They tried again in 2019, it didn't work. Tried again in 2023, it did not also work, and they tried earlier in 2026, it did not work. That was in it was 5 days into the mission. Even to an extent, the astronauts went into isolation to not carry any infections and all of that, for that mission to be successful. And just 5 days into the particular launch date in March, and the engineers found out that there was an error somewhere, so they cancelled it. But in April 1st now, they finally launched. So I'm going to show you the video of all of that, just to explain what that is, and so you can get a grasp of how this effort has been done over time to see how they can make this work. So when I come back, I will explain to you what is happening inside the launch and how the experience has been thus far with our astronauts.
Stage. Oh, I can see it. I can see it separating.
Welcome back to the program Tech Today. Yeah, we're talking about Artemis II that launched in April 1st, 2026, and it was launched from the Kennedy Space Center on April 1st, like I said earlier, and it's a 10-day mission. It's crewed by NASA astronauts. That is, we have Reid Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, alongside with the Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jeremy Hansen. Okay, we have a woman inside the flight this time around, and it's a big history. And this time we're having different people from different races in it, and also it's the second flight of the Space Launch System. This is the first crew mission on the Orion spacecraft. I told you about the Orion spacecraft. Okay, so it's the first crew mission beyond the low Earth orbit since Apollo 17. That happened sometime in December 1972. Okay, now what I was sharing with you what is the experience that we are having in this, what the astronauts will be feeling while this launch is on. Imagine having from 0 to 1,000 kilometers per hour in minutes. Okay, that force alone can pin you to your seat. Imagine that force pinning you to your seat. The noise, the vibration, the intensity. In space, it's not like you just boarded an airplane. We usually experience that small gravitational pull and all of that. This is controlled by explosion, humans pushing themselves into space. That is really something very funny. I'll give you a short clip to show you how this happens with different, spacecraft launching themselves into space, so you can get the experience. Yeah.
On this historic moon mission, the 4 astronauts answer the question: just how are they going to live up there in those cramped quarters together for 10 days?
All right, we're getting ready to get into the vehicle.
Pilot Victor Glover and the team give us a tour of the replica Orion spacecraft they're training in.
Heading in. Made it.
Just getting in takes a little bit of attention.
Commander Reed Wiseman shows us the kitchen.
I'm in basically the kitchen, so that's just the kitchen sink. This is where we need to come to pour water in our glass and drink it.
And for dinner time,
our food warmer, which is a briefcase here, and if we had food in it, I would be opening it up and showing you how awesome it is.
The gym.
This is the flywheel exercise device. This is one of the things that we have to sort of think in a zero-G environment.
Mission specialist Christina Cook shows us where they'll sleep.
I'm going to be hanging like a bat is my plan, but I won't even know it because there's no gravity.
Putting you down on the deck, and now you're looking straight up into the docking tunnel.
Tonight, the grand tour. And the crew says they are ready for this mission and for the out-of-this-world views.
The windows are going to draw the crew together. We're going to see some cool things out those windows.
Yeah, you see, imagine living just within minutes, leaving the atmosphere, entering into a microgravity, and suddenly everything just changes. Objects begin to float. You know, the body just begins to adjust itself. Imagine you throw something up, say it to fall down because of gravity, you know, it now floats, and then you see it. It's actually fascinating. Imagine just dropping something and then it floats. It's fascinating. All right, now the journey to the moon. Let's now get serious, okay? The real journey begins because now the moon, the distance from the moon to the Earth is over 384,000 kilometers. So you see, the moon is 384,000 kilometers away from the Earth. It is not just far. This is deep space. Okay, now this what might change is the communications will now lag because it's no longer instant communication. You cannot just say hello and just get it instantly. It will take time. So messages may take time to travel, and you can say, yeah, it's not just a phone call. It is now a communication across space. So now let's think about this. Imagine looking at the window and you're seeing. Just imagine those astronauts that I showed you videos of looking back on Earth and just seeing. Earth is no longer just their home. You're just seeing grass, and you're seeing it as a globe, as a glowing sphere in distance. Imagine, yes, I said glowing sphere, because Earth is not flat. Earth is spherical, okay? So it's even shown in the video that you saw. And we also saw videos of people in aircraft, airplanes, and just seeing when this launch happened, how it was trajected out of Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and just seeing it go off, and then just orbiting around the Earth like that, in that manner. It's actually very fascinating. In that moment, you don't have borders existing, you don't have country existing, you just one planet, okay? But let's ask a big question out there. Artemis II, why does it matter? Okay, why are we sending people back to moon? Why are we sending them back around the moon to just orbit around the moon and come back to Earth, okay? So Artemis II is not in the final goal, okay? It's like preparing, like I said earlier, preparing the mission for what the NASA, what they're planning, that they want humans to land on the moon again, and they want to build a long-term presence on the moon. So they're also doing this because they intend to eventually go to Mars. And that is actually very fascinating. We're going not just going to the moon, they intend to leave planet Earth and go to another planet Mars, otherwise known as the red planet. So scientists are studying the lunar environment, they're studying the radiation exposure, they're studying how humans' survival will be when they're in deep space. And I know that people are actually on the comment section in social media saying they did this before, why is it making it difficult for them to just go and land again in the moon 50 years after? Because they're comparing the technology used back then in 1972 and now the technologies we have now in 2026, wondering why it is not just so easy. I understand that because it's something to also ponder about. Some persons are also saying that they faked the moon landing before in 1972 and all sorts. But that's not why we're here. We're here to tell you why or what is happening in the Artemis II, okay? I know speculations been come up. Now let's talk about the technology behind the Artemis II, okay? We have the Space Launch System that is built for deep space. It is more powerful than the previous rockets that have ever been built. Sometimes we have these rockets being sent, and along the way they get exploded and shut down and scattered, and everything gets destroyed. We've seen rockets being sent to space, and eventually it doesn't even get to space; it just gets missing in space and all of that. So this is also a rocket. Orion spacecraft is also designed for future missions. So the Orion spacecraft is an advanced life support spacecraft. It has this heat sheet for re-entry, and it has a navigation system. It's quite sophisticated. That's why we're using this to go around this time. And then compared to the Apollo mission, today's spacecraft is more smarter, is more safer, more reliable, and thanks to modern technology. Okay, I'm going to show you a video of our the Orion spacecraft and just show you before and after of different spacecraft so you can just see the comparison and the technology involved in making this work.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate MECO. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour. Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis II mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour. Minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation expected at the 2-minute 9-second mark. We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engine's throttling up, guidance converged.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan. Outstanding, Stan. We have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis II, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO. About 10 seconds remaining until the main engine cutoff of the Space Launch System core stage. Standing by for confirmation of MECO and core stage separation.
Integrity, nominal MECO, core stage separated.
Welcome back to the program Tech Today. So Artemis, the second mission, is the plan is that after completing the Earth orbit operations, Orion is to perform a translunar injection burn for 5 minutes 49 seconds using service model, placing the spacecraft in a trajectory towards the moon, okay, like a slingshot towards the moon. So this precise maneuver sets the Orion on a free return trajectory around, allowing it to loop around the moon before returning to Earth. So Orion will fly around the moon at its closest approach for about 4,075 miles, that's about 6,513 kilometers from the far side lunar surface. It is the further distance from Earth, and it's expected, you know, this is the moon looking at Earth now, they're going to go round it like that, then slingshot themselves back to Earth. So it's expected to travel about over 400,000 kilometers. And the Orion is also expected to return back to Earth's atmosphere in about 40,000 kilometers per hour. Imagine that speed. And it's the fastest crew re-entry ever attempted. Okay, initially the mission was planned to, skip that re-entry part, but then they now decide to, NASA decided to, have this done, and it's actually quite fascinating. And I know the question is, what does this mean for us? What does happen to do with us here in Nigeria? Okay, now this is actually a good technology in part because space mission drives innovation when it comes to communication, when it comes to satellites, anything that has to do with space satellites and internet system, also with GPS. GPS we really use, for us GPS to work, we use the satellites up there to triangulate our movements and where we are right here on Earth. And also it's also an inspiration for young people who want to be engineers, who want to be astronauts or inventors or scientists today to tell you that this can work. And here we'll be on Tech Today to give you the updates. It's actually a very major advancement in space eventually to find its way around, just to go to orbit to the moon and come back itself to enter Earth itself without even having any, so much hiccup. So what should we expect from this space astronaut mission? Okay, we're expecting them to return back to Earth safely. We're expecting astronauts to complete their mission and also to carry out all the data they want to analyze, to carry out data successfully. And the next big step will now come when the mission will not be to land humans on the moon again. That's what NASA is saying. Okay, NASA is saying that they're going to land humans on the moon again. And this mission, like I said earlier, it's carried 4 astronauts. We have a woman, the first time a woman is going up there, and also I have a person of color, that's a black person, also there on the mission, and also 2 other astronauts are also included in the mission. So that's why it's quite historic. Okay, so upon returning back to Earth, scientists will test their immune biomarkers. They have crew providing the saliva samples before they traveled to space, and also during space and after the mission is completed, to test their immune system and how they are affected by radiation, how they are affected by isolation for that time, and the distance away from Earth during the deep space flight. So this mission will also allow astronauts and scientists to understand the space weather, that can be faced in future missions going, and how humans can survive and even sustain themselves while they are on space. So it's all about exploring and all of that. And upon completion of this mission, this is a whole lot, and we are so proud of them. And this is happening in our time, and it's a good one that it's yet to witness this historical event. And in the event of say there's an unexpected issue happening to happen in this mission, NASA is willing to take another course for correction. They call it the Artemis, the 3rd mission, and it is slated to happen mid-2027. So if the mission is fully successful, NASA will continue further Artemis mission to consider the possibility of a crew launched in Mars. That is a feat that has never been accomplished before. All right, that's what you can take on Tech Today. And it's just fascinating to find out these things happening in our time. From the days of Apollo to the new era of Artemis, history is unfolding right before our very eyes. So the question now is not if we will go further. The question is how far are we willing to go? Thank you for joining me on Tech Today. I am Lawal Momo, and until next time, we'll bring you more updates. Also, you can join me on my radio program. It's called Tech Info on 92.3 FM on Monday, 8:30 p.m. Don't forget to tune in. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Welcome to Youth Perspective on Independent Television. I am Joy Obaisiagbon, your host on this special program. You know how we do it here. We look at societal matters from the youth perspective. And today we are talking spirituality. You know, Easter celebration just passed. This is the month of sober reflection. We need to check our character. We need to, connect back to the faith if we have actually, step back a bit. And like I said, our topic today is on spirituality. Actually, spirituality, navigating spirituality amidst life challenges. And today I will be doing this conversation with my guest, Pastor Great Okonewa. He has been here before. Thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you for having me, and welcome my viewers.
Yeah, thank you. Happy Easter in arrears. Thank you very much. So moving on, Pastor Great.
Yeah.
How do you think faith influences one's decision, especially in relationship, workplace, and all of that?
Yeah, faith. By the word faith, you mean your belief system.
Yes.
Right. So, one's belief system actually shapes your mindset, shapes your character, and by character I mean the way you relate with your fellow human being. Your faith is both vertical and horizontal. Okay, so if what you believe in, that's the vertical part, and the horizontal is how that belief influences the way you relate with your neighbor, with your fellow human being. Okay, so if you believe in Christ, for example, you follow his teachings, and his teachings, his lifestyle shapes the way you relate with people. Like Jesus said, do unto others as you will have them do unto you. That's the golden rule. That's a rule that has actually been accepted across religious lines, all religions. I think, I'm not sure there's any religion, I'm not aware of any religion that will say they don't want people to treat them right. And then Christ says, do unto others as you have them do unto you. That's why I always believe that Christ is not a religious person. You know, he didn't come to establish a religion. Jesus is not a Christian. That's it. And he's not a Muslim either. He's not a religious person. Religion is a creation of man. Religion is more of politics. You know, yeah, it's a creation of man, you know, a set of rules to guide people and so make them think in certain direction. Okay, the Greek word for religion is religare. Religare means to bind back, to tie something. And really, religion has actually tied the minds of many people. When you see people behave in a certain way, you begin to wonder whether they even think at all. Okay, so, but I want to take faith beyond religion. You know, because whether you are religious or not religious, you have faith in something. You certainly have faith in something. Man was created to have faith in a higher being. Whatever that higher being is to you is your faith. So whatever that higher being tells you to do, or the leadership or the teachings of that deity or the higher being shapes your behavior and shapes the way you relate with other people, certainly.
Okay, moving forward, I wouldn't want to stress when you talked about religion that Jesus was not a Christian, and you also said that rules and regulation, you know, put together by men. But do you not think that if there are no rules and regulation, people will not actually, you know, practice their faith in Christ very, very perfectly? We know nobody is perfect, actually, like at least to an extent.
Yeah, rules are good. Rules are not bad if the rules are created honestly, not with hidden agenda. It was the philosopher Marcus Cicero that said that anyone can be a good leader if greed and self doesn't get in the way. All right. So if those rules are honestly made for humans to be able to relate with their maker, relate with their creator, they are very fine and good. And it helps you too to relate with your fellow human beings. So we need rules, certainly. We need rules. But the rules shouldn't limit the reasoning of man. God gave us this mind to think. So if you have rules, the rules shouldn't limit your reasoning. You should be able to think out of the box. People should be allowed to think freely within the parameters, of course, of certain standards. You don't have to be absolute in your thinking. It doesn't mean that you can just take cutlass and kill somebody and say, boy, I thought I'm free to think anything. No, that's not what I'm talking about. There are standards. I mean, there are some irreducible minimum, okay, that you can go. But I think that the rules are not bad in themselves. But people can manipulate the rules to subjugate other people and limit their thinking. For example, somebody comes to you and tell you that buy my sticker that has my picture. All right, place it on your car, your house, your store. Nothing happens to you if you place it there. No armed robber comes to your house. No, nothing will happen to you. You are safe. But that has the picture on that sticker, I go about with about 5-10 policemen or security guards with guns protecting me. So if my picture can protect you, why do I need security guards to protect me? So if you tell me that, I'm going to think. I can't be deceived to that extent. I'm going to think. I said, no, I don't believe what you're saying. I believe in Christ, but this one you're saying, I'm not sure Christ will say this.
Okay,
so that's it.
people have the liberty to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Do you think that contradicts the Bible?
No, it doesn't. God gave us the mind to think.
Because the Bible is the set rules and regulation for Christians. It actually helps us to shape our love for Christ, our faith in God, and all of that. So if we are given that liberty, like you said, to think outside of the box, so it means there are a lot of things in the Bible that should be,
when you say the Bible is a set of rules.
So whether I would like it or not, there are set down rules and regulations, especially the book of Proverbs, right? Gives us a lot of, and also there's always there's also a commandment that says thou shalt. So that's like a rule.
Yeah, those are rules, okay? But I will also tell you that before those rules were made, like the Ten Commandments, for example, before God gave Moses the Ten Commandments, those commandments were already written in the conscience of man. Yeah, look at it very well. Those 10 commandments. I'm not sure there's anyone there that was not already in the conscience of man.
So it just needed to be established.
Yeah, it needed to be established because even man was not able to follow the rules, even the dictate of his conscience. That's why Christ came, to give us the power to be able to follow. Because thou shalt not kill. Do I really need somebody to tell me that killing is bad?
Yeah.
I don't need rules to tell me that to kill another person is bad. The conscience is there. Even before the Bible came, our forefathers, there's no society that celebrates one killing another. There's no society that celebrates a man sleeping with another man's wife. You understand? They are all there. Thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. Even your conscience will tell you that. You understand? So these rules are not really, they are rules made, they were more like codified, but they were already in us. And that's why God said, a time will come when they will not need these written laws, that my laws will be written in their heart. And that time is where we are right now. So I think we should take the issue of faith, the issue of our relationship with God beyond the letters, beyond religion. Because religion really emphasizes on rules, but walking with Christ emphasizes more on love, on freedom to think. That's why Jesus said, when they came to Jesus, said, what is the greatest commandment? What did he say? He reduced it to one word, and that word is love. What is the greatest commandment? He said, first, love the Lord your God with all your heart, your strength, and your mind. And the second one that follows is love your neighbor as yourself. And if you bring it closer further, it's love. Okay, so there are not too many rules really, because if you love God, you are not going to worship another God. If you love God, you're not going to take his name for granted. That covers the first 4 commandments. And the remaining 6 is about the horizontal relationship with your neighbor. If you love your neighbor, you're not going to steal from him. You're not going to, take his wife. You're not going to, things like that. So it's very, very simple. But religion makes it look difficult to serve God.
Talking about love and priority. Yeah. Nowadays, a lot of us are in the corporate space.
Yeah.
And we just try as much as we can to be very careful when it comes to, practicing religion, let me not use the word religion, practicing our faith and loving God, spirituality and all of that, and having to, tolerate, because there's, whether you like it or not, there's always someone on a standby to piss you off, right? So as a youth, as a young adult, working, doing life, your business and all of that, even having to enter public transport and all of that, even though you are mobile, someone is always on his standby to offend you. So, life challenges and struggles and all of that. How do you navigate spirituality, talking about priority? How do you prioritize your faith and your spirituality?
Okay, it's a very, very good question. First of all, I would like to bring our mind to what happened in the Garden of Gethsemane. Easter just passed. So we can look at what happened, what Jesus did, what happened, what transpired at the Garden of Gethsemane. Now, Jesus was about to be crucified. And before he got to the Garden of Gethsemane, we never knew that he had some element of self in him. Okay? When we say Jesus, Jesus, but he was man and God at the same time. He was so perfect, but we didn't know that there was that element of self. Because you really don't know who you are until your hour of death. Yeah, somebody said that what you become on your hour or the moment of death is the person you should have been. God is why. Yeah, because that's the moment of truth. That's the moment of reality. You can't
becomes humble.
Yeah, you can't really pretend at that moment. Your reality comes out. So at that moment, Jesus was facing death. Not just death, but suffering and humiliation and all of that. And he said, self came in, the element of self there. Like me going through all of these things. Like how, I mean, it was excruciating. It was so humiliating. He was naked on the cross. All right? Because even the underwear was being taken by the soldiers.
Imagine a pastor and then your followers see you naked.
It was too much to take.
Yeah.
So he said, Father, is there any way we can go about this? Let's renegotiate the whole thing. Can we not find another way to save humanity? Must I die? Must I do this? But then he quickly realized himself and he said, not my will, but your will be done. At that moment, that was when man won. That was when man defeated the devil. That was when Jesus died. Because from that moment, the Bible says he never opened his mouth anymore. Because this time, when you give yourself away, you are like someone who has died. You no longer care about anything. All right. So now he gave himself away, and God helped him. Angels came, strengthened him, and he prayed more earnestly. And he was able to face the humiliation and all of that happened, the embarrassment, the slap, the insult. Why was he able to face all of that? Because he was no longer putting himself first. It was no longer about him. Now, bringing this to our daily lives, office work, even in leadership, if you have this mind that it's not about me, okay, it's about, carrying out the job I was employed to do. It's about satisfying my employer. It's about, getting the maximum result. No matter other offenses that may come, you don't get distracted by that. Because it's not about you. You just put yourself away.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's not easy. I must confess. It's not easy. At some point, you might lose it. Because you are a human being. You are in flesh. You have flesh and blood.
No, you should be like Jesus in the chorus.
You have flesh and blood. But then, sometimes, even if you have power, or you have the power to do certain things, you can just decide to put it away. Because the greatest virtue that Jesus demonstrated on the cross, what that he demonstrated all through his lifetime on earth, it was not about feeding the 5,000 people or healing the sick and all that. The greatest virtue that Jesus demonstrated was his refusal to come down from the cross, even when he had the power to do so. He had the power to come down from the cross. He had the power to call the angels and they will fight for him and all of that stuff. Even when he said, whom are you looking for? They said, Jesus. He said, I am the one. They fell on the ground. So he could have, but he chose to remain there because of his love for humanity and his submission to the Father. So if we have that mindset, because every day we are in a process of becoming, we are working towards perfection. No one is perfect yet. Yes, sometimes you may lose it at some point, but don't give up on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. You will get better. All right. So if people offend you, as long as you are able to do what you have to do, and satisfy your employer, you go ahead. But at some point, if you have to, because there are some people that are like goats, you need to beat a goat in order for the goat to
perform.
Yeah. So if it comes to that point that you know that you need to, this one needs a whip to fall in line, then you can do that. Jesus got angry at some point as well. He got to the synagogue. It made people selling. He turned it to a marketplace, and he got angry. He picked up a whip and he whipped people, flogged them. So sometimes it can happen. But as long as it is not about your personal, the difference between Jesus getting angry and flogging people and the way some of us do it is that Jesus was angry not about himself. His anger was not about self. It was about his father's house.
Of course.
Zeal for his father's house. Why are you turning my father's house to something else?
Yeah, priority.
Priority. So you prioritize. Don't prioritize yourself. Put yourself first. That your name is Joy, right? Yeah. That's that. Somebody tried to use Joy as an acronym. I said Jesus first, others next, and yourself last. Joy. So when you put yourself last, you always be a very happy person. Because even when they try to make you angry, you don't even get angry because you are like a dead man. A dead man doesn't get angry. The Bible says, except a grain of wheat fall down and die, it abides alone. If it dies, it yields more fruit. So if you consider yourself as dead to self, when we have good leaders in this country, when we have leaders who are dead.
All right, a lot of wisdom from Pastor Great. We're going to take a very short break, and then when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Youth Perspective on Independent Television. And over here, we've been having a conversation on spirituality. Yes. Yeah, spirituality. Sober reflection, having to prioritize yourself, your spirituality, and love God. According to my guest here, he said, put people first and put yourself last, right? Yeah. If I'm getting you very correctly. All right. So moving forward, Pastor Great, this question is a little bit personal. Yeah. So tell us, have you ever felt like giving up on your faith during tough times, and what helped you persevere?
Yeah. Giving up, having tough time, yes. I've had tough times, but giving up on my faith, I've never really thought of it. Yes, I've never thought of it. The reason is because, it's not because I'm perfect or anything, but the reason is because when I gave my life to Christ, I chose to serve God. I burned the bridges behind. I didn't leave any option of going back. Or if this one doesn't work, I will try this. I've never, ever, ever thought of it. Okay, but what have helped me is because what Paul said when he said, what shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation, shall, famine or whatever? Nothing in this world, nothing in the world to come, nothing in heaven, nothing on earth can separate me from the love of Christ. So, wow. Paul said something. He said that it's no longer I that liveth, but Christ liveth in me. Okay, in other words, I'm not the one living, but Christ lives in me. When somebody talk about denying God or deny Christ, I always tell them, not me, because Christ cannot deny himself. I believe that the old me died. So the one in me is Christ. So, but for those who might be struggling with that, because I understand that people go through that. At some point, you want to give up. At some point, you get angry with God. Sometimes, too, you get angry with God. Say, God, but I'm serving you. I'm doing everything. Why are things still like that? So if you get to that point, all you need to do is you need to take it easy on yourself. You are going through a process. We are all on the journey of becoming. We remember that the Bible says when you go through the fire, I will be with you in the fire. When you go through the water, it will not overflow you. Just understand that God is not far away from you at that moment. God does not hate you. God does not forget his own. He does not hate you. Even when things are not going well, he's still God. And his love for you has not changed. It has never changed. The Bible says, all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. So just believe that. You don't need to understand it. The reason why many of us give up sometimes is God. We're trying to understand God. You don't have to understand God because you can never understand God. Just trust the process. Trust him. You don't have to understand him. Even when there are gallops, just trust him. When we are, flying, on air, and sometimes the plane gallops, we still trust that the pilot is there, so we'll get to where we're going. So, you may panic a little bit, but trust the process. It will take you there. You mentioned something in between that, what you were saying. It's quite difficult sometimes to trust God, right? Yeah, sometimes in a very difficult time, it is difficult to trust God. It takes a lot of faith.
Yeah, especially for youth, young adults, and then you see yourself, especially in a place like Nigeria, right? You're earning minimum wage. Now tell me, what is a minimum wage even going to do for a person nowadays? You get so how it's just a lot.
I think one of the what I would just say to that is that you bring yourself to a point where you don't seek validation from things. You don't seek your works from your possession. Even Jesus said it. He said, a man's life does not consist in the abundance of things he possesses. All right. So do not look at yourself, do not rate yourself based on your pockets or your bank account. Whether you have it in abundance or you don't have it at all, you are worth more than that. So when you understand it from this point of view, you will not be too hard on yourself. Because I've even heard of people, believers, who commit suicide. Some even pastors, some commit suicide. Why? Because they just couldn't take it anymore.
So in situations like this, sorry to cut you short, I had to. In situations like this, words of encouragement is not really enough.
Just
practical things that you think people can actually do to go through that phase, because honestly speaking, I believe it's a phase.
It's a phase,
yeah, it is a phase. So as a person that has been in the faith, what are practical things do you think that people can actually do to go through this phase?
Yeah, what I would just say is that first of all, just be calm. Be calm. That's it.
Well, calm is not going to give you food, and
Yes. Now, why you should be calm is that, and have a kind of mindset, because the way you can, there's no practical, I can tell you now, okay, when you have that, go out and work, they are working. And they're not getting, it's not that they are lazy. Okay, if you have something like that, go and do this. No. What you need to do is that, it's about your mindset. Have a kind of mindset. There's a kind of mindset you will have that will help you navigate through life. It's about your mind. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So if you have this mindset that God do not owe me anything, but I owe him everything. Even if he kills me, like Job said, even if he slay me, yet will I trust in him. So even if I don't survive it, I'm a child of God, and I'm a child of God, and that is what I know. So every other thing that comes, when it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, I still don't have any particular, I don't have to take it personal. Just like I said before, a dead man does not really care what happens to him. So when you have that kind of mindset, you'll be able to overcome it. In fact, the devil will fear you, because there's nothing they will do to you that will make you react.
All right. I hope that this our analysis today has been able to help us to an extent see how we can navigate life challenges for those of us that want to enjoy and also keep our faith and be loving and be very, very committed in church and serving God and all of that. I hope this has been able to to an extent help us. And with this, we are going to be rounding up today's episode on Youth Perspective. Until next week, I am Joy Obai Siagbon. Thanks for watching.
ITV
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us on the program Woman to Woman. I'm Adisu Sawage, and today on Woman to Woman we want to ask a blueprint question. A question that is very small and very huge as well. So it's a big picture of philosophy that I want to talk about today, and it is the impact of parents' attitudes and behavior on their children. The impact of parents' behavior, attitude, activities, you name it, on their children. Does it affect the children negatively or positively? How can children grow out of their parents' skin? These and many more we're going to be looking at today on the program Woman to Woman. And joining me in the studio is Dorcas Onoge. She's a teen coach, a PR practitioner, and does a little bit of health things. Hello, Dorcas.
Hi.
Happy to have you join us today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so joining us via Zoom today is Eniye Favor Omorige. She's the counselor, health practitioner, and of course, a pastor. Eniye, are you with us now? All right, Eniye has not joined us yet. Let's hope that she'll be able to join us. Let's hope that she'll be able to join us in a couple of moments. But before we go on, let's quickly take a short break.
ITV, ITV,
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program held Woman to Woman. Now we'll move ahead with what we have for today on Woman to Woman. So Dorcas is already here with me in the studio. And if you are still looking for the network, don't worry, you will find it very soon. You know, the moment it rains, everything online just go like that, okay? So Dorcas, it is said that the children or the parents are the mirror in which the children look into to maybe arrange their own future or behave in society or act the way they're supposed to or the way they're not supposed to do. So the parents are mirrors for the children to look into. Is it true or is it not true?
It is partially true.
How so?
I said it is partially true in the sense that there are some children that exhibit character that are not in line with what their parents actually truly are.
Okay.
But to a large extent, children exhibit the character of their parents at home.
So when, like you said, when a child is not behaving in the way and manner that he was taught, because the Holy Book says, train a child in the way he should grow, and when he grows, he will not depart from it. So why would a child depart from what he or she was taught in the house?
Well, in a home, we all, just as human, we have our choices. Sometimes when a father or a mother is trying to put a child in a particular line, to that child, the parents are not doing well. To some children, they have the part of their parents is already archaic. They are the new ones. These are the way things are being done. Not only Gen Z, it has always been like that from time to time. That you see parents bringing up children, let's say about 5 children, you must see one of them that will be different. This one, you will hear the father will say, I don't know where you have copied this character from. You hear the mother will say, I don't know where you have copied this from. You have never seen me and your dad do this thing before. I don't know where you are exhibiting this character from. You know, oftentimes we hear this from parents. This one literally shows that children don't usually follow, it's not all your children that will follow the pattern of the parent. Let me use myself for instance now. I live now, I've lost my mom for over 10 years, almost 10 years now, almost 10 years now by this month. And I can say that most of the things I do today are the things I learned from my mother. The way she does her things, the way she approaches people, the way she sees things, because, well, maybe because I'm the inquisitive type, I love asking questions a lot. So I will ask, why do you always like doing things like this? And I will see their reason. When I see her reasons, after seeing her reason, I will say, oh, nah, I know better. You know, with that, before I know it, I started acting in ways that she does things unconsciously, because I like the way she do it then.
And then you imbibe
Yes,
it.
I imbibe it unconsciously. After exhibiting the character, I will not say, oh, this was what my mom used to do. Why some I will just say, this is how my mom used to do it, and it's something that I've seen from her, and it has helped her during her time, and it will help me in my own time.
Eniye Favor is with us now. Hello, Eniye. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Favor. Can Favor hear me? Okay, I think we're having issues with audio there. Okay, so having said all of that, Dorcas, let's look at the way apparent stress level affects their children's emotional well-being.
Well, when parents are stressed, one thing I believe in one thing, I don't believe in what we call transfer of aggression. I don't believe in it.
But it happens.
And some people don't know how to control that. If you offend me, for instance now, I should not transfer the offense, the anger you have caused me to another person. I should know the boundary that this person, you are the one that has offended me. I should deal with you and let it be there. I should not extend it to somebody else that want to come and ask me for something. I said, no. But most times, that's what people do. Maybe they are offended in their office or at their marketplace or their place of carrying out their own work. They will bring it home and transfer it to their children. Maybe the children, some children, they come home, they are at home expecting their mothers to come home and they will show the mother the things they have achieved for the day, how somebody, or they want to tell the mother how somebody has dealt with them or their experience for the day. So they are full with expectancy, only for them to be met with aggression. Go, I don't want to see you. No, that child will be disappointed.
And then when parents fight, we see that most often the time the children suffer from that fight. The husband may decide that, okay, for this that your mother did to me, no food, no, they begin to punish the children. They stop paying school fees and other things a child is supposed to enjoy. The man deprives the children. Is it supposed to be like that?
It's not supposed to be like that. And once it happened like this, the man in question is unconsciously,
and the woman will not want to cook
dividing his home. To him, he's doing that to the mother alone, but the children are being affected, which he didn't think of. Because if he had a deep thought about that, he wouldn't do it. You know, this thing I'm going to do to this woman, it will adversely affect these children, and for that he will want to restrain himself, if at all he is being provoked to do that. But when you go ahead to just do it, hey, I want to deal with this woman, forget that there are children there. The children will react.
Especially when the children are all girls.
They will just be watching. They will be watching you unconsciously. They will be watching you, and that one will now form a different character in them. You know, in the holidays, you will hear people, women say that, I would have lived this marriage, but for my children, I will not live. But these days, you hardly see that. Some will just carry the children, go away, even cut off the father from having access to the children. And you know, it doesn't strike a balance in upbringing of children, because a child raised by a single parent and a child raised by both parents, they are not the same.
Really?
They are not the same. They are not the same. The emotional balance is not balanced. The father have a role to play, and the mother have a role to play. We know something can happen, death can happen, something can happen along the line. But when they are both alive, the children should benefit from both of them, because this one have the emotional balance that he will give to the child. The mother had the emotional balance that will give to the child, and when the child grow up on one side, you see that there's this emotional disconnection with the other person, which is not good for bringing up children, male children or female children. Yeah, it's not a good thing at all. So now, when parents begin to do such things to children, to their mother, forgetting that you are indirectly punishing your own children. You cut off food, feeding allowance from the mother. You beat the mother. No child will see their mother crying and they will be happy about it. No child. Just like sometimes some mother will see their children crying, there is this pain in there. Even in animals, you will see it. You see it in animal. Not a lot of human beings that can reason. Then the children, the mother, the children. When children are hungry at home, it's the mother they cry to. Mommy, I want to eat. Then at a very tender age, you will hear the mother saying, sorry, there's nothing to eat. You know, some children are very inquisitive too. They will say, yeah, your daddy don't drop food, drop money for food, because they know the money comes from daddy. So the daddy says, you're not going to eat today, he didn't drop anything. You have sowed a seed in that child.
Okay.
That will go a long way.
All right, Favor, how you doing? Hello, Favor, can you hear me now? Can Favor hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon. Yes,
oh, thank you. So thank you for muting yourself. So Favor, I'm sure you've been listening to everything we'll be talking about on the show.
Yes, I have.
Okay, now at this point, how does everything that Doc has just described affect the self-esteem of a child or children in a home where the father, the mother transfers aggression, bring all the stress in this life, bring all the quarrels and all the fights into that home? How does all of this affect the self-esteem of a child?
You know, psychologists said that children learn by imitation and by imitation and observation. So that's what they call social learning. If the father, on the other hand, is not treating the mother well and a lot of things are going wrong, it can help the children emotionally. They'll become emotionally unstable. They'll start developing behavioral problems, challenges, anger issues. All right? These children will not be able to relate well with other children in their, in the school, in their environment, and they will not be happy children. To prevent this, parents have to know that their attitude, their actions, everything they do affects everything about their children, and should not jeopardize the upbringing of their children with their own negative characters and attitudes.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Academically too, it can affect them in school. You know, they are not motivated. They start coming out from behind the classroom instead of being at the top in the class. So there are a lot that the children loses when the home front is not conducive due to parental attitudinal issues and challenges.
Whatever attitude parents display.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Favor. So what I'm trying to say is that whatever attitude or behavior a parent displays, the children will copy from it. And is it right to say that this attitude would, of course, affect the relationship these children may have in the future?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Favor?
Very well.
Okay.
You know, from a happy child, you grew up to be a happy adult. Any child that grows up in this kind of environment, they start having issues. They may be unable to keep healthy, positive relationships. So to prevent all this, you know, they will have issues relating with people. They may start having depression, other behavioral challenges. Some of these children, as growing adults, young adolescents, can go into drug abuse, substance abuse, you know, all in an attempt to cope, to be elated, to be happy with the environment that they find themselves.
Short break, and when we come back, we'll come and ask questions on how parents can behave in such a way that we will build good children for tomorrow.
ITV, certainly the best.
All right, thank you for staying tuned to the program, Woman to Woman, on independent television. Just as Dorcas and Favor said a while ago, that the attitude, the activities, the character, whatever emotions the parents displays can affect the children psychologically, emotionally, can disturb their self-esteem. It can actually depress that child. So now that we know all of this, how can a parent behave better to help the children, to make sure that the children are just okay and they are children the way they are supposed to be? You know, some parents' behavior can make a child become an adult overnight. Yes, the child will just grow up and will not experience youth, will not experience childhood and all of that. So each time I listen to that song Michael Jackson sang, that I'm looking for my childhood, I used to wonder why he sang that song. Why would he be looking for his childhood when people reminisce on their childhood and they are usually happy? So let me ask you, Dorcas, how can a parent behave better when there is a conflict in the house? How can a parent behave better in the face of some challenges at home?
When you say some challenges,
yes, some of the challenges we face at home now, all those ones, you know them already.
Well, since the focus is on how it affects the children.
Yes, the attitude of parents, how it affects
when
children.
Things that you know that when you discuss it will not be beneficial to the children, don't discuss it in their present.
Okay.
Like quarreling, exchanging words, it shouldn't be done in the presence of the children. If there is quarrel in the house, try as much as you can to handle it privately from where the children are, because this thing goes a long way to affect the emotional balance of these children. Academically, their relationship with people, their self-esteem. You know, you see children that has low self-esteem,
yes,
all boil down from where they are coming from, most times from the home. Children are easily not, they are not easily bullied outside to have low self-esteem when they are loved at home. You need to show love, irrespective of what is going on. We know, yes, challenges will come, things will come that, yes, the father may lose it, the mother may lose it, but in all, we should always have at the back of our mind that there are people looking at them, there are children that this thing will affect if it's not done the proper way. If discussions are not done privately, the things the children should do, let the children see love, let the children see happiness, because it will affect them on the long run.
Okay, so Favor, let me ask you this. Children are going to write JAMB in a couple of weeks. They are going to write their SSE in a couple of weeks. Results are going to come out. And parents are going to compare their children with others. Where were you when this person was making these grades? Where were you when that person was making these grades? How will all of this, and all of this will affect the child's esteem definitely. How can parents do it differently this time around?
Please, parents, show love. We can actually love our children, correct them without comparing them with other persons. All right? When you compare children, you make them lose their self-esteem. You make them become, they lose their resilience. They don't want to push anymore. But you can encourage these children, be available for them, be intentionally available for them. When it's time for this child to study, sometimes once in a while, create time for these children, sit with them, study with them. In preparation for the JAMB. It's not when the JAMB result comes, you start screaming and shouting. Now that they are still preparing, encourage the child, motivate the child to study and to do better. All right? So that by the time the result comes out, it will be better. And if the result comes out and it's not the way you want it, it's not the end of life. There are other chances. Things can be better. But don't compare your children with other children. Every child has their style. Every child has their strength, and every child is unique in their own way. Comparison, unnecessary criticism, hatred. There's a way you correct your children, it looks as though you hate them. So correct them with love if you must, and embrace them. Embrace them by being available for them. Embrace them by providing the textbook, necessary textbook materials, and support that they need. That will help them, and build their self-esteem.
Thank you, Enia. So,
don't talk them down.
Okay. All right, Dorcas, I'm waiting for you to say something about this.
Yes, in addition to what she has just said, sometimes you can be well prepared for something and the thing will still not go work out. So when your children, for instance, just taking about the exam that is they are going to write soon, when they didn't perform well, you just have to encourage them because they have to go back and write the exam. Let them know that they didn't pass because they are bad, but because there are times that you get prepared for something and you still come out and fail. With that, they will have more energy, the zeal to want to put in more effort, ensure that they come out well.
Okay. All right, parents, you have heard it, that your attitude, your activities, your behavior, whatever emotion you are displaying can actually make or mar your children. Can we just take it easy with our kids so that tomorrow we'll have that thing that we always say, leaders of tomorrow, at least quality, fantastic, responsible leaders of tomorrow will have empathy towards others, okay? It is your behavior that will push that children to that level or push that child under. So let's do the needful and make our children great. Thank you, Dorcas, for finding time to be with us on the show. And thank you so much, Favor, for finding time out of your very tight schedule to be with us. Thank you. All right, guys, we'll see you again next week on the program, Woman to Woman. God bless you.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
The land of Onwa is inhabited by the people with common ancestry, language, religion, economic and socio-political ties. However, irrespective of their subtitle differences in language and culture, they share common traditions. The people are known for their hospitality. Onwa traced their origin to Benin Kingdom. As a result, for a man to find a comfortable place for living, the name Onwa was derived from the largest and longest river in the area, which is known as Onwian or Onwa. It means one who makes merry in affluence.
ITV, certainly the best.
Paternity fraud is the intentional misrepresentation of a child's biological father. This deception can have profound emotional, financial, and legal consequences for the man who was misled into believing he is the biological parent, the mother, and the child involved. It's one form of misattributed paternity or paternal discrepancy. Specifically, paternity fraud is the intentional misidentification of a child's biological father. Paternity fraud is distinct from other unintentional misattribution which may arise from simple error, an accident such as mix-up during fertility treatment or a sexual assault. Paternity fraud is a significant and growing concern in Nigeria, driven by societal pressures, infidelity, and increasing accessibility of DNA testing. Recent reports from DNA testing centers suggest that approximately 1 in 4 men who seek paternity tests discover they are not the biological fathers of their presumed children. Paternity fraud is a situation where a woman misleads or deceives a man into believing and accepting he is the biological father of a child. It is a rampant, growing, but underexploited issue in Nigeria with significant ethical, legal, and social consequences. Despite anecdotal evidence suggesting a high percentage of up to 40% in some private DNA testing centers, there is a critical research gap in empirical data and logical provision addressing paternity fraud. Existing family laws do not explicitly recognize paternity fraud, leading to inconsistent judicial outcomes and inadequate redistribution, leading to inconsistent judicial outcomes and inadequate restitution for affected individuals. Cultural taboos connected to paternity testing further complicate the issue, as requesting a DNA test is often perceived as distrustful or disrespectful, challenging deeply held cultural values. This study examines the ethical dilemmas, legal gaps, cultural influences, and social impact of paternity fraud in Nigeria.
It's a welcome development. I don't have any issues with it at all. People don't just wake up and demand for DNA tests. It is based on circumstances and issues around relationship and trust. And that is why you see people coming up to say they want to be sure. We've had a whole lot of issues around paternity, both from the male angle and from the female angle. So we've had issues. And the only way you can draw finality or conclusion to it is when you ask for a DNA test. Now, the good thing about DNA test is that it is either 99% or 0%. So it's very easy to know that this is my child and this is not my child. Very easy. And I want to say that for me, I don't have any issues. I don't have any problem. I encourage it, particularly when there are doubts around the issue of birth I don't see any reason. If there are circumstances and you are demanding for paternity test, if there are no issues, then why are you afraid of it? You shouldn't be afraid when you know your hands are clean. So on the issue of breakages of marriages, of course it will happen. If it happened that it's negative, or it's positive, I mean, and it happened that your suspicions are correct, certainly it will lead to either divorce or separation, basically. I don't think that is a social problem at all. But it will also give you rest of mind to say, yes, either this is my child or not. We must begin to live faithfully with each other. I think that is it. If you know you are not faithful, also you should also know that you can be cut out. Basically, that there is a way we can identify and find out if you were faithful in your marriage. All these things leads to succession as well, property rights and succession rights. So it is not just only paternity issues. It goes a long way when it comes to property devolution, as well as other areas of social issues that we must also look at. You do not want another person's child to inherit your property. So those are the things. You see, it's not something that just end up with the man and the woman. It goes further than that. And you will also recall that late MKO Abiola, before he died, insisted that the majority of his children should be tested. And that happens. And you all know the result of that test. A lot of those kids or a lot of those children were not his at all. And because of that, they were denied the rights of property inheritance. You see, but of course, he would have done that probably when he was alive. So I don't see anything wrong with it. It should be encouraged in society, and it should be encouraged globally.
It has become a thing that people now practice it because of some reasons. Otherwise, before now, it's assumed that once a woman is pregnant and she's married, that pregnancy belongs to her husband, and eventually the child belongs to the husband. But within some circumstances that you now find that maybe the child is sick and the child is taken to the hospital, he needs blood transfusion, the blood does not rhyme with the supposed father and things like that. I think that's where the idea of doing DNA came about. And you and I know that it can be so disappointing that you are raising a child only for you to discover that that child is not yours. And to avoid all this, that's where they brought the idea of doing DNA. And also, when they want to travel out, well, there are also issues there. So you go to embassy with so much confidence, and at the end of the day, you find that the children you have taken to embassy to get visa, they are not yours. So it's really disheartening. But I want to advise my fellow women, let us be truthful to our husbands. If you know you can't stay with the man, instead of jumping around, just get out of the marriage so everybody knows that you are single. Instead of pretending to be married and yet you are more of a single person. And at the end of the day, you bring other men's children for the man to take care of. And at the end of the day, there are issues. So instead of putting yourself in that disgraceful manner, just stay on your own, and they know that you are not married. And you can do whatever you want into your life. Nobody is going to ask you, why are you doing that? In every action, there are always consequences. So everybody should stick to what belongs to them, so that the children you have will know that they are yours and things like that. But even the men, they do it with recklessness, except when the man eventually dies. You see people coming from every angle that this man was my father and all that. And I think that is not healthy. So let us believe morally. God says, if do not fornicate. So, and you know the punishment of fornication. So let's just avoid it. and be faithful to our partner.
Findings reveal that economic insecurity, societal pressure on women to bear children, and restricted access to affordable DNA testing contributes to the problem. Key causes of paternity fraud include marital infidelity and concealment. Women may hide that a child was conceived with someone other than their partner to avoid divorce or abandonment. This can also happen when a woman gets pregnant, probably for her ex. In order to save her marriage and family reputation, she will cleave to an unsuspecting innocent loving partner, especially when the wedding date has been fixed. It does happen when the woman's husband lives abroad for greener pasture. Perhaps he stays out of the country for a couple of years and occasionally comes to visit once a year or once every 2 years to 5 years, leaving the woman lonely and vulnerable to temptations from other men. These ladies sometimes sleep with their house help or security guards. The brothers or best friend of the said man abroad may be lured into their net if they are not careful. Another factor is financial motivation, a desire to secure child maintenance, inheritance, or financial support from a financially stable man. Sometimes desperate ladies go a long way to tie the man of their dreams with pregnancy. They know fully well that the pregnancy does not belong to the said man. Due to the financial stability, they can get pregnant for any man of their choice to remain relevant in the scheme of things.
In our mother's days, they don't even know what is called DNA. Because when you are married, you are married. You live with your husband and your children. It's one family. There's no looking out. And if you look out, they have punishment for it, grave punishment for it. So that was like a standard control that our parents used to sustain friendship in marriage, to sustain respect in marriage, and to sustain oneness in marriage. But these days, it's so unfortunate that young people no more take marriage very seriously, no more take relationship very seriously. They no more take oneness of the family very seriously. And all our culture and traditional effects of such misbehavior is no more in practice. So the best option is to go for DNA. And now we show anything that is not made by God may not be 100% correct. That is the truth about life. Anything that is not made by God is not 100% correct. So even the DNA, how we show is 100% correct. The person that is doing the test in the lab, any little mistake will give a bad name to a dog in order to hang it. So the way forward is that all those our cultural practices, traditional practices that are healthy should come back. We should effect it. What is important is your heart, your mind, your conscience before looking at deterrents from outside. In marriage, your heart, your mind, your conscience. This will guide you in order for you not to go astray, either as a man or as a woman. But when these virtues are lost, then we begin to call for DNA. Of course, that's the last resort that will solve the problem. If a woman is accused innocently, then the woman can confidently say, let's go for DNA. And that woman will be vindicated. That's the last resort for now that we have. People are ready to go and swear, even if you say go and swear. People are ready to go and swear. After swear, they go and do other things to counter the swear.
If it is done sincerely, it brings sanity to preserve marital vow. And at the same time, if a man and a woman knows at the end of their journey, something will come suddenly like this, everybody will check his or herself. And the word integrity will prevail. Even nowadays, nobody cares. Nobody wants to know or care about integrity. And that is why sometimes, before you marry in those days, our parents want to know from which family do you want to marry. They go deep into it. If it's a family where you are hit and run, they will not allow. But a woman who has no manner, or a man who cannot really preserve, go from one place to another, just bring in babies. And when you find out most of the children, they are sick, you don't need the cause. It's because Fanta face and Coca-Cola body. You find out the father is from another person, the mother is from another place. So how do we go about it? So it's in order to allow integrity to prevail in marriage, I think it is very good and better. And also people should always know that anything you do in secret will come up one day. So I think I personally encourage it. We don't start what you cannot end. When you don't want your house to be broken, we must allow the truth and the honesty. Where your marriage is tailored by your parents, they pay your dowry. Fine, you are being attached to yourselves, and you need to grow into yourself and then bring out children. That's what the Bible says. But the child you want to bring out, or children, are they from one source? They are not corn that are grown up and down. So we pray that no broken home. But if your house is broken, you want to find out why. If you mess up your bed, how do you want to lie on it? I encourage it. See if anything come contrarily, you will find out if it is really not. I'm not talking about short course test. You do tests that is not a Yahoo test, retest, and whatever it comes out, fine. What brought this matter of DNA test is reality. Yeah, because sometimes hunger can kill faith. At the time that there is hunger in the land, a stupid person can just come and dash currents of pounds or dollars, then you fall off, you derail like trail. So that is why it is good this should be done, and then it's a legacy they want to follow. Where for sincerity we are talking, and integrity will prevail. That's what prevails in a marriage. Sincerity, integrity is what we are talking. Then when you have this, you may not bother, but when, in order to be properly sure, go ahead doing it, so that you have rest assured, peradventure anything happens.
Social stigma and pressure, fear of stigma, pressure to produce children, or pressure from family to have a father figure present. In Nigeria today, some ladies, in order to save their marriage, go extra mile to bear children for their partners, sometimes due to cultural pressure of having a male child or just to have children. Some religious women sleep around with the heads of a religious organization to bear children. Some ordained pastors and imams, traditional worshippers, some working class women get intimate with their colleagues in their places of work just to have children or male child in order to save their marriages.
I am fully in support of that. In terms of this, our modern living, why I really say I support it is that a whole lot of men have trained children for other people, being that they don't even know if they are the actual fathers of the children. The kind of lifestyle most of our ladies live these days, I will encourage that the government should make it reasonably affordable for every man or every child to have his DNA done. The reason for me, again, is that if you know the DNA of your child or you know the paternity test of a child, it gives you an in-depth responsibility for you to cater and do what you expect to do for that particular child all through life. But when you don't do it, or when you are not able to do it, when you start seeing some traces of abnormal character emerging from a child, you start imagining, what is this one coming from? And when these things keep happening like this, you see that you will lose trust. And at the end of the day, the psychological effect is enormous. It can even derail the entire system, the entire system of the man or the family. So that is just one of it. We also know that it has so much negative effect in doing it, because sometimes there are certain stories that don't need to be told in the course of living. So I will say that we have some things. Some people can manage a family. They may have some maybe limitations in terms of their production and all that from the men, and the woman tries to go out of her way to balance the entire house. And when she goes out of that ways and gets the house balanced, perhaps bringing the child or something like that, and then the man eventually find out that this is not my child, it derails the man. For me, sometimes we allow it slide, but majorly it is better we call a spade. We iron things out and make things work. Let the man know if he's adopting, let him know he's adopting. If he's not adopting, let him know the state he is. I will stand with that. But that doesn't deter us from telling us that sometimes certain things have to be kept quiet for peace to reign, for the entire community to be at peace.
Marriage is built on trust. And when you talk about DNA is like a breakdown of trust. When there's no breakdown of trust, DNA won't come. The reason why DNA cannot be ruled out, because you are living with human beings. You cannot also rule out the issue of trust and distrust. So it is there to clear doubt. So DNA naturally should not be compulsory for everybody. DNA test should not be compulsory for everybody. It should not be optional. When there are issues of doubt, then DNA cannot clear that doubt of paternity questions. So the point I'm making is that DNA came to solve a particular situation where people had doubt on the paternity position of their kids. And we find out from results that most time the DNA prove 99.9% no paternity. So we have also found out that DNA comes out to say that paternity correct. So the point I'm making is that DNA should not be made compulsory by government. DNA should be the last resort to clear doubt when there are issues of trust. It's very important. Okay, so that's the reason why we encourage couple. This extramarital activity can actually lead to this issue of doubt. When there is trust in marriage, you've married your wife, you have cohabited and begin to raise children, the issue of DNA would never come up. Yes, but when there are these issue of, cohabiting extramarital activities, you will discover that when there are issues, that will come in. Secondly, we have seen that, a child is sick, come and donate blood. And at the end of the day, the blood is not matching. What do we do? Then those are questions of that. So we have also seen situations. This guy was sick. The child, 5 years old, took the child to the hospital. The father was to donate blood. They tested the blood is not matching. It was questioning. And after the shouts and all of what that comes through all of that, the woman also did a DNA and discovered that it was not also her. And when they now went back to where they discovered there was mistake from when the child was given birth to, they had mistakenly exchanged that child. And because the woman knew herself, the woman insisted and went through all the rigorous, and they were able to find those people who they gave birth same time in that same facility, and they find her own child. So the DNA naturally cannot be ruled out. There are issues of doubt that it has come to solve. So this is my position. Number one, it cannot now be a must that you just have your child go and do DNA. No, it will create doubt when such an accusation against the wife. After the result, such marriage can no longer be as it used to be, because there's already doubt, there's already breakdown of trust, and one of the power of marriage is trust. So we must ensure that this trust base is kept. It is only when the trust is no longer there, then the paternity test becomes very important.
Emotional relationship security. The intention to trap a partner, keep a relationship together, or create a two-parent household. This is where the woman picks on any man of her choice that she felt will be able to stand the test when she gets pregnant, not minding that she's already in a relationship with another man that she intends to get married to, or she's already a married woman living in her husband's house. This may not be the same for every woman, because we have most women in Nigeria that respect relationship and of course respect the tenets of marriage, irrespective of the pressure built upon by society and family to bear male children or still to have children. Other case is uncertainty and concealment. In case where the mother is unsure of the biological father, she may choose a partner to be the legal father. This goes for women with multiple sexual partners. They may not know the guy that got them pregnant. On realizing they are pregnant, they choose from the region of sexual partners, especially the one they feel is financially stable and responsible, to be the father of their unborn child. Cultural factors pressure to have children, particularly male children, in some cultures can drive women to hide the true paternity. This can happen in a traditional setting when the line of succession must be maintained. In order to maintain the lineage of the throne, some women will go out of their way to bear a male child or children to maintain the rulership of the clan. The question that is somewhat difficult to answer is whether families should be encouraged to go for paternity tests when the children are born to prevent a foreseen heartache. To ensure clarity in raising a family, a man is sure of. Another nagging thought is how many Nigerians can afford the money to go for a paternity test. It's quite expensive, and an average Nigerian will not be able to foot the bill for a child paternity test, talk less of 2 or 3 children. With the high level of infidelity in Nigerian society today, how can a man secure his home without doubt, know for sure that the children he's fathering are his? There are causes and effects. Actions and reactions are equal and opposite. Men, if you must travel out of the country, try everything within your power to take your wife along. After some months or years, let it not be for too long. Women, the choices you have to make as a mother goes a long way to affect the family. Maintain your dignity as a woman or a mother. Put your emotions in check no matter the pressure. Family members, do not put undue pressure on the husband or wife because of the absence of children in your son's marriage. Remember, be it male or female child, they are all gifts from God. Do not put yourself under undue pressure because you want a male child. Men have died of heartache or heart attack on realizing that the children they raised as their children were never theirs. Families shattered on finding out that though they grew up together, did everything together for a long time, were never of the same father. Look, current families in Nigeria today, men are divided beyond recognition as the battle for paternity is tearing the fabric of the society apart. Trust dashed, love thrown out of the window, husbands and wives of dagger drawn, children confused on how to relate with the man they once called father. In all of this commotion, some men do not mind if the kid is theirs as long as they were the ones that the child gets to call father. Men have died of heartache or heart attack on realizing that the children they raised as their children were never theirs. Families shattered on finding out that though they grew up together, did everything together for a long time, were never of the same father. Look around families in Nigeria today. Men are divided beyond recognition as the battle for paternity is tearing the fabric of the society apart. Trust dashed, love thrown out of the window, husband and wives as dagger drawn, children confused on how to relate with the man they once called their father. In all of this commotion, some men do not mind if the kid is not theirs as long as they are the ones that the child gets to call father. Some families choose to bury such dark secrets to keep the family together by living with the pains of betrayal in each of their waking days. As for the ones that cannot take it, they head to court for divorce or return the bride price of the woman if the wedding was based on tradition. Look at that son or daughter of yours. Is he or she truly your blood as a father, as a mother? Look at him or her very well. Is he truly the son or daughter of your husband? That man you call father, is it truly your father? Don't you think it's better to go for a paternity test? Who's your daddy? Who's your dada? Who's your pappy? Don't you think as a child you need to know who your father is? Wilson Omasha reporting.
ITV, certainly the best.
to know the effect of the new fuel price on goods, if the traders are adapting well with the new fuel price, or if it have affected trade here in the market. So come with me as we get to know the effect on the current price of fuel on the traders and on the goods and services they sell. I am Stephanie Notoriwa.
In recent times, Nigerians have continued to grapple with the steady increase in the price of fuel, a development that is gradually affecting every aspect of daily life. From transportation to the cost of basic goods and services, the impact is being felt across market and households. For traders, the rising cost of moving goods from one place to another has become a major challenge, forcing many to adjust their prices just to stay in business. Buyers are not left out, as many now struggle to afford items that were once considered basic necessity. On this edition of Market Survey, we'll take a closer look at how the increase in fuel price is affecting traders, the price of goods, and the general cost of living.
The current price of fuel, they affect your business?
The current price of fuel, they affect this business well. In the initial time before, when fuel come down, we dey carry one bag 500, 700. But now one bag now 1,000 naira. So they affect the fuel. Even the drivers, they go affect market people when they say Gary give us. Then who they say the Gary to go see affect us. So we want federal government to please reduce the fuel price for us, so that everybody will meet up to everybody's needs. That is what we want the federal government to do for us.
So if you want me to reduce, and like how much you say me they sell fuel for 1 liter?
According to Nigeria situation, if you reduce it to like 800, 700, or even 500, so that everything will go well for everybody. As they say, so it's not easy for the country, but we just manage and they go.
Is affecting everybody. You cannot buy anything from the market. Rice don't go up. Even from here to a can alone na 400. What did they carry 200 before? Now 400. POS now when I see the money they do. If you tell me 10,000 or 300 naira, they'll tell you no, now 200, now 100 naira. They're not agree pay charges. Everything too hard for this country. If they won't help us when they help us, they don't help us when they tell us.
So if they want reduce fuel, like how much if you say they feel they sell?
May they carry the fuel coin that if they put out for even that 1,000 naira self is too much. Because people when they drive bus, they get family, they get things to do. The expensive step for this country, 900 is okay, I beg. May they help us, may they put up on 900. If at all, we'll see the man and say, okay, 900. If you see best small fuel now, and then they lock the fuel pipe, I that fuel of 1,400. You know, over there from a ring road, reach a look, it don't finish. Why now? Me when they vote again, look my face right where I know they vote. Because you vote, you not vote, they go put the open for there. They know they vote. Because everybody now stay your ass. If I be president of this country, I don't need me to vote for me more rest. Man, I put me for them in a room. I don't vote, I don't get voter's card. I go throw it up beside toilet.
Well, you think if they reduce fuel, everything go come down?
If they reduce fuel, it go better small. At least now, pure water now with the buy 300 naira, now 200 naira. At least it go come down. People when they say pure water, when they say 400, 300, we see they buy a pure water 300, we see they pass and they go for all. Rest go come down, everything go come down. If I they smell, I go they smell. Then they do dash money again. Before that year, if you go message, they'll dash you 100 naira. You know they, that's where money again. So I bet when they see they reason with us.
This okra, what they say so. I found they buy before 4,000. I go market today now. No, they week now. 12,000, 14, 15, 16. And the motor why I go before now 500 they go no be 700 come back. What did they have?
This fuel price now we don't increase, they affect your market?
They affect my market well, not be small. They affect us well. You see now, before we they buy this okra for 4,000. Now we don't buy okra for 15,000. Every week we tell the town say, why not put up for 15,000, 16,000? They will tell us say the motor, the money when they take the carry and they come for where they sell. I say the money is too much. And before when we want share this okra, the okra say if we buy 500, we will still reach the stay cook.
price now we say don't increase. How it they affect your business?
My sister, excess. They affect mostly me. Oh, they affect me. Oh, now you tell my neighbor say, where I buy yesterday 8,000, don't finish. I don't tire.
So now the tomatoes where they carry now they affect the price where they carry before.
Before they buy tomatoes 25. Yesterday I buy 65,000. 65. Pepper where would they buy 25? It's now 50. So I beg, make them help us.
They won't reduce the fuel. Now how much if you say go they'll sell away beside everybody go enjoy?
Make they reduce down to 500 because the poor they cry. We they suffer. No markets. We no fee feed. We no fee pay us rent. I beg. You know, not say the country now no lights. Now the fuel we take they manage our life. I beg.
This fuel wey they don't increase now, it they affect your business.
Overfed, it not be small. We they affect us. Where would they pay 200 now 500? That would they pay. The thing it not be small thing. You don't turn the market upside down. Where till you go buy before you go buy something now you receive the transport, you come weak. Everything can increase. Fish not the let buy. Akabu not the let buy. You see sugar, you see granite. If you want to talk now, they say fuel. They'll talk now, they'll say fuel. So the thing get as it be, may government may still help the poor. May of CC leg take run, meet our mates. Now that one I get to talk. May they beg government.
So if they won't reduce the price of fuel now, how much if you say the office sell and maybe say everybody go fee benefits, go enjoy it?
If the fee sell it like 700, if my myself, you don't make the son of 500. Because no light. If you want 100, now fuel. Light not there. Now the cost I want pop water now like 3 days now we don't see light take pop water. Now fuel now we use. If you buy 5,000 fuel, you know the reach us the pop a tank full.
The fuel price now they say now they don't increase fuel. How did it they affect on our business?
As the fuel increase now, it affect our business. Why? Before we used to pay each cow from like Udul market to Bini, we used to pay like 45, 48, also 50,000. But now we are almost pay 80, 85, and 90. So when the market increase, when the cow increase, so the movement of our market is also increase. Why is that? Very soon now we are about to, before we are quoting meat 500, 1,000 and also 200. But why? Because of the market cost now. We are unable to know wanted to quote 200 anymore. Why? Because of the foil. But when the foil go down now, the price of the cow will go down. But when the foil increase, the price of the cow increase. But the meat before, the meat now they quote 300, 200 now. We are about to stop it now. We don't want to sell any 200 and 3. Now we are about to, we are wanted to get that way so that we're not supposed to quote 200 naira meat and also 300. But we can quote only from 500, 1,000 and above because of the fuel increase. Why? Before the transfer from Adamawa to here, before we used to pay 80. But now as fuel increase, now we are pay each cow 130,000 naira. Why from Adamawa to Bini? But when the cow increase the price, that is normal. The meat must add the price. Like before, we are selling 1 lap for here, 1 lap for cow complete. We are selling 250, 280, and also 300. But now, if you not sell a reach 350, 400, that means we cannot see any profit about it. And the assorted, the complete assorted before we are selling on the slaughter at the red price at the 120, 130. Now we are selling about 150, 160. Also like the full of the 80, what would they sell? Before 80, 90, you don't get full completed. But why? Because of all those things now. If you not sell that complete, 120, 130, your money will not complete. So all the market now, some people now they try to stop say because they don't tire. You can go north, buy cow, carry and come transport. All the way, each one can now, you cannot gain 20 or 30,000 naira. Some people they will bring and lose because of say the transport. But when the transport reduce, at least when the transfer, at least before we are paying 35, even 40 for each one car. So when you don't calculate, for example, you buy car 1 million, you come put transport now 40,000 naira, put expenses both the food and the water we go drink 10,000 naira. So when you sell maybe 1.1, you don't get like 50,000. We are unable to sell, get your money, and went to market and buy another one. But all because of those things now. So people will bring and spend all this expenses now, and end of the day they will lose. So many people are stopped. Anyone that you see with this phrase now is very stronger person. Is the person that will not, is the person that is stay for the business and they fear the business. But some people are unable to stop.
So like now
more you people help us tell government. Men and tell say the fuel now, the increase of the fuel now, and they increase every traders, now they increase every investor. So now when the fuel now address government, when the fuel now come down, for example now let fuel 500 naira. When they are selling fuel 500 naira now, so each one car where they carry from north like Kano, Adamawa, Meduguri, and also Barrier Net Place now. All the calculation they pass 40, 45. But now each transport now they pay off to 100 and above. So how can we meet up? So we address you people now to explain to the government, please, let the fuel come down.
The fuel business, the fuel increase, where the money where they add for fuel, I say they affect business.
Sister, they easy. The easiest to us. Because before we carry car is 20,000, 30,000. Now it's going